All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, viewers online, either live here and in person or later when you're watching the recording. We are going to be doing a live stage adaptation of Les Edgerton's novel, The Bitch. Les will be joining us afterward for any questions among the actors here, so feel free to hang out and enjoy us after the show as well. I think we are about ready to launch, so I suggest we go ahead and everybody relax, enjoy the show. And remember, this is PG-13, so there's a lot of graphic descriptions and a lot of dirty words.
I thought we were going full R.
Yeah, we can. Okay, screw it. R.
That's what I put on the video.
All right, so excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, I proudly, everybody here proudly presents to you Les Edgerton's The Bitch. Fade in. Interior of the Bishop family home in the bedroom during the day. The year is 1973. Young Jake is rifling through a chest of drawers. He looks up, surprised to see his father caught him stealing, and drops a sock. Exotic coins spill out of the sock onto the floor. Jake's father looks at the coins on the ground, then looks back at young Jake.
You want them? You got them.
Jake's mother rushes up and stops at the doorway. Jake is being forced by his father to swallow the coins one at a time.
Go on, swallow. You need to remember this, son. A bishop doesn't steal. None of the bishops have ever been thieves.
Jake's mother is clinging to the doorframe and openly weeping.
I ought to make you eat them all.
Young Jake looks up at his father.
I'd like some salt then, and a glass of water.
Jake's father gets angrier and starts to remove his belt. Minutes later, we see Jake's mother sitting on the bed with young Jake, lying on the bed, head in her lap. She is stroking his head.
You can't take your father's things anymore, Jacob. You can't even think about doing it. If you have a sinful thought in God's eyes, it's the same as committing the sin. You think something bad, you're going straight to hell. You don't even have to do it. All you have to do is think it. Promise me, Jacob. Promise me you'll be a good boy.
No response from Jake. We see the anger in his eyes, but no tears. In the Tangerine Z salon, we jump ahead to November 1998, which the salon is mostly empty. Jake is putting away his hairstyling equipment. The phone rings and Jake picks it up.
Tangerine Z salon. Walker? Walker Joy. Damn, Walker, how long has it been? 3 years? 4? How the hell are you? Yeah, sure, I can meet up with you. I just got to call Paris and let her know I'll be late. Where you at?
Later that night at the boat club, Walker is sitting at a booth and stands up and greets Jake with a big hug. And they sit down on opposite sides of the booth. The waitress brings him drinks, whiskey for Walker and cola in a can for Jake.
God damn, Walker. It's good to see you. Last time I did, you were opening a package of Oreos I got you as a going away present. How long you been out?
Couple of months.
You get laid yet?
The first night. That'd be the ugliest girl I'm ever gonna fuck for the rest of my life. You know how it is when you first get out? You'll screw a snake if you can get someone to hold it.
Well, you gonna tell me what this is all about? You sounded pretty desperate on the phone. You need money or something?
Nah, man, I'm good. In fact, I'm gonna come into a pretty good chunk of change real soon. What I need is a favor.
Hell, Walker. A favor is French for let me fuck you. You taught me that.
Hey, I'm serious, Jake. I'm in a jam. Serious shit. The thing is, I can get out of it, but I need your help. I've got a job lined up.
I'm out of the life, Walker. There's some good stuff about to happen. I'm not going to screw it up. I've been straight for 4 years now.
You owe me, Jake. It's a house. And I know for sure the owner's going to be out of town.
Are you crazy? A house?
It's a piece of cake, Jake. The guy doesn't even have a decent burglar alarm. And it's kind of a business, actually.
Walker, I got to explain something to you, man. I've had 2 falls, brother. You know what that means? The bitch. I'm looking at the bitch here. You remember the bitch, don't you? habitual offender. 3 strikes and you're out.
Shit, man. Don't you think I know that? I'm in the same boat as you are. But Jake, this job is really a lock. And the payoff's something like you and I never thought we'd ever have. I'm talking serious money, pal. How does $100,000 a piece sound to you, Jake? Maybe more.
Sounds like a fairy tale. Look, I mean, I'm flattered that you thought of me, but I'm going to have to pass. I mean, this deal's that good, you shouldn't have trouble finding a partner. Hell, I bet you can find 6 guys in here right now that will go with you. For a lot less, too. Maybe even for what you'll actually get. I'm sorry, Walker. Like I said, I appreciate the offer, but I'm in a different place now than I used to be. I wish you luck, though.
Jake starts to rise.
Sit down a minute, Jake. I need to explain some things to you. You owe me that much. I'm calling in my marker. I'm in a real bad jam here.
Jake reluctantly sits back down.
Go ahead. You've got 20 minutes.
Walker takes a drink and then starts.
Let me start at the top. The last couple of months, I've been a runner for a jeweler here in town, Sidney Spencer.
Yeah, I know Spencer. Tweety little scumbag. Comes to the salon and tries to get the girls there to go out with him. Don't think any have taken him up on it, though. Paris and I stopped in his store when we were looking at rings sometimes back, but his stuff was way too pricey, considering his store was sitting between 2 strip clubs.
He doesn't need to sell as much as why. The store's just a means to cover what he's doing on the black market. Gems, mostly diamonds. I run stuff up to Chicago for him. Made 3 trips with no problem. Last week, something happened. I took the wrong exit off the toll road and wound up in Gary. Ended up on a back street. Stopped at a red light, and there they were. 7, 8 guys. If I'd seen them coming, I'd have just run the light. Guess I spaced for a minute. I got lucky, and they just pulled me out of the car and took off with it. And the merchandise in the trunk. About $100,000 worth of hot diamonds. I'm a dead man, Jake. If I don't come up with the money by next Friday, you can put roses on my grave. If there's even a body left to bury. I think Spencer hires guys who favor quicklime.
Jesus, Walker.
I know. I don't have the right to ask for your help on this kind of deal. If it was just you and me, believe me, I wouldn't. But Jake, there's more to it than that. You see, Spencer knows about you. I guess he really wants you on this job.
He what?
He's under the impression that you're the best B&E guy on the planet.
And why is that, Walker?
I guess I talked about you one time up in his office, just shooting the shit, telling war stories.
What kind of war stories?
Jobs you pulled, stuff like that. I might have mentioned something about Clark Station.
Son of a bitch! Why would you tell anybody about that?
Flashback back to Clark Station at night. Jake knocks on the glass, trying to get the attention of the attendant.
Hey man, can you turn the pump on for me?
We're closed.
It's 10 degrees out here. I just need enough to get to another station that's still open.
Can't. Don't fuck up my books.
Oh, come on, man. I just need a few bucks worth. Can't you put down that Southern Comfort long enough to...
Fuck you very much. Have a good night.
Later, Jake is pushing his car home in the heavy snow. When he's done, he leans on the trunk and lights a cigarette. As he smokes it down, he gets angrier and angrier. He opens his trunk and grabs a tire iron and walks back to Clark Station. The attendant is leaving the building, locking up for the night. Jake walks up behind the attendant as he's getting into his truck and hits him across the back of the neck with the iron. The attendant drops to his knees, and then Jake hits him again, and the attendant falls face first into the snow. Jake rifles the attendant's coat and finds his billfold and takes his money. He also grabs the half-empty whiskey bottle that the attendant was carrying. Flash forward to the boat club.
Man, I knew it was a mistake telling you about Clark Station. That's strong-arm robbery, 10 1/4 sentence. Not to mention the bitch if I get popped. Stupid.
Hey, Jake, I'm sorry, but it just came out. We were talking about revenge stories, and I said, let me tell you about a buddy of mine who got the ultimate grudge fuck. I thought he'd get a hernia way he laughed. I didn't see no harm.
Walker, you're a dumbass. He's going to use that against me, isn't he? Blackmail, right?
Jake, I didn't
Sorry?
mean
Yeah, you bet your ass you're sorry. A more sorry son of a bitch I've never met. You didn't tell him about...
Whoa, no. No way, man. No way.
Jake waves over the waitress for another round.
Fine. Tell me more about this job.
Later, Jake opens the door at his home and comes in. Paris is sitting cross-legged in shorts on the couch reading TV and a magazine in her lap, watching TV and reading a magazine in her lap. She is 8 months pregnant.
Sorry I'm late, hon. I'll get the trash out.
You can do that later. Your supper's in the oven warming. Eat first. Want me to fix it?
Nah, you relax. I can get it.
Jake gets his supper, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans from the oven. Also grabs a fork and then a Barks root beer from the refrigerator. Sits down on the couch opposite of Paris.
So, who's this friend you saw?
Oh, crap. I forgot the ketchup. Can you grab that for me?
Paris gets up to grab it. When she starts to come back, Bobby is coming in the door.
Where the hell have you been?
Take it easy, honey. It's not that late. It's only...
10:30? I waited an hour before I ate, Bobby. You told me you'd be home right after school. I went through a lot of trouble to cook this, you know.
Bobby, where were you? If you were supposed to be here for supper, why weren't you...
Out! I was out, that's all. Can't do anything around here. Who wants her lousy meatloaf anyway? It tastes like shit. I'm tired of everything being burnt.
Watch your mouth, Bobby.
Get off my back. I'm going to bed.
Bobby storms upstairs and slams the door. Paris plants on the couch near tears. Jake slides over to comfort her.
Aw, baby. He's just a kid. You probably just forgot the time. You know how teenagers are. I'll go up and talk to him. He just needs a swift kick in the ass is all. And to apologize to you. That crack about your cooking? Hell, he loves your cooking. He's twice as much as either of us. Besides, I think it's fantastic. Who cares?
Like hell. I told him specifically this morning to be here on time, and what's he do?
I'll go talk to him right now. Straighten this right up.
Moments later in Bobby's room, Jake opens the door, and Bobby is laying across his bed, earbuds in with music blaring loud, reading a comic book back to the door.
Bobby, that was some shit you pulled downstairs.
Jake pulls the earbuds out of Bobby's ears.
Take these damn things off. Now that you can hear me, we're going to have a little chat.
Bobby starts to say something, but Jake puts up his hand.
Save it. Just listen. Look, I'm not going to put up with you treating Paris that way. It was rude and uncalled for. She does a lot of things for you, you know. Look, Bobby, I know you're going through some tough times, but you don't need to take it out on her. You might remember she's the one that suggested you move in with us when Mom and Dad died. She tries hard, you know.
I know, Jake. It's just a bad day, is all. I got detention today.
What for?
Randy Ames called me a jailbird and I clocked him.
Well, that sucks, I know, but you've got to control yourself when guys do stuff like that. If they know they can get to you, you're going to be in a million fights, and you're the one who's going to be in trouble.
I know.
If you want it, there's still some meatloaf left. Just put a lot of ketchup on it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I could eat some, I guess.
The next day at Tangerine's East Salon, Jake is giving a lady a haircut, and the salon is busy. The phone rings, and Jessica, the receptionist, answers. After a moment, she comes over to Jake.
Jake, phone call.
Get a name and number. I'll call him back.
It's that Spencer guy that comes in here. That guy that hit on me last month. He insists that you'd be glad to take his call.
Okay. I'm sorry, Sandra. This won't be a minute. I'll take it in the back.
In the back room, moments later, Jake picks up the phone.
Yeah?
Jake, we need to meet.
Spencer, we have nothing to meet about.
Oh, I think we do. Didn't our mutual friend talk to you?
So what?
Well, maybe he mentioned a little gas station incident to you. Something that happened a while back? Something I don't think you want the cops to know about.
Sneaky got me by the short hairs, don't you? Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
How about the boat club? Walker's coming with me. He suggested that might be a good place, one that you feel comfortable at.
I'll sit down with you just so I can explain to you why you've got the wrong guy in mind for this crap, but not at the boat club. I'll meet you across the street at the Linebacker at 6 for half an hour. That's all.
Jake slams down the phone just as Jessica pokes her head in the door.
Spencer want you to cut his hair? You don't seem his type.
Jake pulls off his smock, throws it in a pile of laundry, and brushes past Jessica into the salon.
Book me out for the rest of the day.
What? You've got a full book. Miss Doherty is coming in, and what am I supposed to say to her? She'll have a cow. And Big Daddy Coon?
Tell him I'm sick. Just all of them. Just deal with it.
What about Sandra? You're only halfway done.
You take her. You need the practice anyway.
Jake grabs his coat and leaves. Moments later at the linebacker, Jake is sitting at the bar when Walker and Spencer enter. As they walk towards him, Jake nods his head towards a booth at the far end of the bar. Jake grabs his drink and gets there first. Spencer starts to slide into the booth next to Jake.
No. Sit across from me. I want to keep my eye on you. Besides, I just had these pants dry cleaned. I don't want grease spots on them. You sit here, Spitball.
Spitball. That's perfect. You didn't tell me you had a nickname, Walker. It fits you.
Yeah, well, Jake here only calls me that when he's angry. That a Jack? Thought you didn't drink anymore, Jakey.
What's on your mind, Spencer? You got some idea you're going to blackmail me? You really didn't think this through, did you? For instance, I don't think you thought about what might happen if you told the cops your little story and they didn't care. Look, I may have been out of the outlaw game for a long time, but some things are starting to come back to me. Like what you do to snitches. You might want to give that some thought.
You done?
Tell him I'm for real, Walker.
Jake, there's more.
Jake, I really don't want to see you back in the joint. I really don't. I want you for a particular reason.
Yeah? What's that, Spencer?
Well, 3 reasons, actually. 1, you're the best. Everybody knows you could get in and out of the place, not even disturb the dust on the floor. Reason number 2 is that you've got more at stake than anyone else I know. I know this because I know what you've done in the past 4 years since you got out. Pendleton isn't a place you ever want to see again, is it, Jake? And reason number 3 is, well, the guy you robbed at Clark Station was my Uncle John.
What did you say? Bullshit.
Truth. He's my mother's brother. You know, it wasn't until your friend Walker was telling me the story of your little escapade that I realized who it was that you attacked. That's when I knew I was going to have you pull the job. You see, Uncle John almost died, but he didn't. He still lives around here, too. Still remembers that day. So, you see, I don't think the police would be as lazy on this as you think. In fact, I think they'd get a big kick out of someone handing them a case like this all tied up and neatly packaged. And just in case that doesn't convince you, Bishop, there's something else.
Yeah, what's that?
You got a brother. Bobby, isn't it? Yeah, Bobby Bishop. Nice young kid from what I hear.
Jake tries to stand.
You leave my brother.
Leave your brother out of this? Sorry, pal. Your brother's my ace card. You see, I know about his probation. Last week, I got robbed. There's just a couple kids that pulled the job. They didn't take much, although the cops and my insurance company think they did. But what's really interesting about all this is the description I gave the cops could fit just about any teenager in town. About any time I want, I can go down to the police station, go through the mug shots, and guess what? It could be your brother that held up my store. They may not have enough to convict him, but they'll revoke his probation at the very least. What is the sentence for auto theft? 1 to 10. I'm going to the John, boys. When I come back, we'll go for a little drive out to Niles, so you'll know where this guy lives. You want to play close attention, Jake? So I suggest you switch to coffee to clear your head. Your eyeballs are bleeding.
Spencer walks off to the back of the bar.
Jake, I'm sorry.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Later in the car, Spencer is driving.
You want
Jake
to
is
take a
riding
look
shotgun.
before you go to sleep?
And Walker is in the back seat. Spencer pops in a CD of Pavarotti-like opera.
You know, it might surprise you to know, Jake, that I'm one of the biggest diamond dealers in the state.
Big deal. This is Indiana, not New York. Not impressed. 100-year-old farmhouses, falling down barns. Sure doesn't look like the kind of neighborhood you'd find this kind of score we're talking about.
Spencer turns the car onto a side road, running in front of a brick ranch house, barely visible through the trees with a long driveway. He stops the car and indicates the house.
That's the place, huh? Here in the middle of the boonies.
That's right, Jake.
It has to be done Sunday.
Sunday? You've got to be kidding me. I need more time than that. That is, if I even do this. I haven't said I would, you know. You know, I wonder how long it'd be before they found your body out here in the sticks, Sydney. Think about that? You know, if you were to disappear out here, it seems like that'd clear up both my problems and Walker's problems at the same time.
You won't do that, Jake.
Oh, yeah? You think I can't just reach over and snap your neck like a twig?
Oh, I don't doubt that you could, but you won't.
Spencer puts the car into drive and drives away from the house.
You won't because you can't, Jake. I read you like a book. You're a burglar, not a killer. If you were a killer, you wouldn't be owing Walker here this favor, now would you?
Jake slumps back into his seat.
Yeah, I know everything about you, Jake. I do my research.
What the hell does this guy have that you want so bad?
Good question, Jake. Now you're thinking, right? I want the canary yellow.
Excuse me? Canary yellow? You want me to steal a bird? What, this guy owns the original Tweety or something?
Tell him what the canary yellow is, Walker.
It's a diamond, Jake. It's got a yellow color to it.
I thought diamonds with yellow in them weren't worth much.
Different kind of yellow, Jake. This particular kind of diamond has a brilliant yellow color to it. Diamonds come in all colors. Canary yellow, the perfect canary yellow, like our Mr. Calvin here owns, well, worth a lot. He's also got a mocha I want very badly. A mocha diamond.
Brown,
a diamond
like coffee, I get it.
Very good, Jake. That's right. Also rare. Mr. Calvin has a lot of rare gems.
Calvin a jeweler, too?
Tell him, Walker.
Nah, he's a designer. Makes these rings and crap for rich bitches.
Yeah, that's right. He's one of the best. Gets clients from all over the country. I send him customers myself.
That's how you know what he's got, I take it.
Exactly. He's using the canary for a client I sent him, as a matter of fact.
So what you're telling me is that you're robbing a fellow businessman, a partner.
Spencer just smiles.
Drop me back off at the linebacker.
Don't you think you ought to lay off the sauce?
Don't you think you ought to lay off your mouth a little, Sydney? You know, I'm getting tired of you. If I was you, I wouldn't be so sure I won't just cap your punk ass, Spencer. The idea has come up in my mind. You know what happens when you get an idea like that, don't you? It just kind of worries at you until you do something about it.
Yeah. I guess so. This has to be done Sunday. Calvin's a Bears fan, takes his little honey to all the games. They play Minnesota this week, so he's not going to miss that one. Sometimes he even goes up on Saturday morning and stays over in a hotel, but Sunday's your best bet.
Jake's home the next day. There's a loud crash upstairs. Jake gets up from sleeping on the couch and checks the time. He rushes upstairs and opens the door to find Paris standing there in her robe with a brush in her hand and wet, messy hair. A hairdryer in pieces cover the ground.
What happened? Did your dryer explode?
Through it. You just get in?
No. I got in a little late and figured you needed your sleep. I slept downstairs.
That was big of you.
Jake comes in, starts picking up pieces of the dryer.
Was she good?
What? Oh, baby.
He tries to hug her, but she twists off of him.
Well,
Jake laughs, and Paris slaps him, which stops him. She goes for another slap, but he catches her wrist and grabs the other one as she struggles.
Baby, calm down.
Fuck you! You're seeing some whore, aren't you? You tell me the truth, Jake.
Oh, of course not. Look, I'm up against something, sweetheart. Just can't tell you about it. I wish I could, but I can't. It's something from my past, and that's all I can say. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it, but I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me on this. Believe me, it's not another woman.
Okay, Jake. I guess I have no choice. This has something to do with when you were in prison, doesn't it?
Don't ask me anything else.
Paris turns back to the mirror and brushes her hair.
You go to jail, don't expect me to visit. Don't expect me to wait on you either.
Jake finishes picking up broken dryer pieces and steps out of the bathroom.
You'll be home tonight?
I think so, probably. Hey, maybe we can go out.
Paris slams the bathroom door in his face.
Or not.
Later at the Tangerine Z salon, Jake is sitting on a chair with a blow dryer cap over it, reading a magazine. Big Daddy leans out of his office.
We need to have a conversation, Jake.
Yeah, sure, Big Daddy.
Jessica, bring in Jake's appointment book.
Jake drops a magazine and heads into Big Daddy's office. Jessica follows them into the office and hands Big Daddy the book.
Close the door on your way out, Jessica. Thank you.
Jessica heads out and mouths a good luck to Jake as she closes the door.
Heard some stuff about you, Jake. Not happy here?
What? Yeah, of course I'm happy. Why, is this about yesterday? I just wasn't feeling good.
Well, that's funny. I heard you were leaving us.
Well, how did
I find out? David, our supplier, told me. You mentioned it to him when you asked about supplying your new salon. Jake, lots of my stylists have left to open up their own place. Remember Dixie? We even gave her a party.
Yeah, I remember. She got so drunk she threw up on her best customer.
That was funny, wasn't it? The point is, she told me she was leaving, and I was fine with that. Nothing wrong with someone trying to better themselves. Hell, I left the guy I was working for, left on good terms. Jake, that's not the real problem here. See, I got a phone call this morning, though. It was from a customer. You know what this person told me? I was told you were an ex-con. And I made some calls. And it looks like this person was telling me the truth, Jake. Now, look, I've got a name in this community, a reputation. Do you know what something like this can do to business once it gets out? I mean, the mayor's wife comes in here. Father Joyce comes in here.
Hell. What do you want me to say?
How about goodbye?
Later at Jake's home, Jake is asleep on the couch. Paris comes to the front door with groceries, closes the door, and sees Jake.
What are you doing home?
Jake is startled awake. He quickly sits up and rubs his eyes.
Oh, hi, honey.
Paris takes the groceries into the nearby kitchen and continues talking to him.
Have a no-show?
I wish. We're going to have to put the shop in a bit early, it looks like.
You got fired, didn't you? Big Daddy caught you fooling around with that little receptionist, didn't he?
Jake lets out a sigh, gets up, and goes to the kitchen with Paris.
He found out we were putting in a salon.
Paris turns and looks in his eyes.
That's it? You're telling me the truth? Oh, Jake.
Paris buries herself into Jake's chest and a torrent of muffled words pour out of her.
Jake, baby, I've been worried. The way you're acting, I thought I was so sure
That I was
you
seeing
were...
somebody else?
Yes.
Jake takes Paris and brings her out to the couch.
Paris, baby, I'm not seeing anyone. I am kind of in a fix right now, but there isn't anyone else.
Your job? But that isn't that big of a deal. We're opening in less than a month anyway. This will just give you more time to get ready. It'll be tight, but we can do it.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about the reason I've been late coming home the past couple of nights. I got a call from Walker Joy.
Walker Joy? Where do I know that name from? Wait, he was your cellmate. What the hell does he want? Money, I'll bet. Well, you tell him to get out and work the same as everyone else does.
No, nothing like that. I agreed to help him out on this job.
Job?
Not what you're thinking. A real job. Legitimate. He's my friend, Paris. He saved my life once. If it wasn't for Walker, I wouldn't be here today. I didn't see any way I could refuse him. What it is, he's got a job remodeling this hunting cabin up on the other side of Niles, and he found out this old barn that they'll let him have the lumber from if they'll just take it. So I'm going to go help him tear it down and haul it up there. If Walker doesn't make some honest money, I know him. He'll be out pulling a stick up and he'll be back in Pendleton in a week. It's my turn to save him.
Well, I guess I can understand that kind of debt, Jake. I guess you do have to do this. But nothing else, right?
I won't even go out for a beer with him. Besides, this is a chance to make a few extra bucks, and we'll need that right now anyway, right?
Later, Jake is driving out to the countryside, back to Calvin Brewer's house. The car pulls up to the end of the driveway, but doesn't pull in. Jake gets out of the car, bundles up with a stocking hat and scarf, puts on sunglasses, and heads to the house. He rings the doorbell twice. Nothing. Jake walks around the house, looking at the electrical wires, peering in windows, and examining door frames. Satisfied, Jake starts to head back to the car. He stops when he sees Paris in a small car parked behind his, angry and smoking. Jake sighs and walks up to her door, and she rolls down the window.
Hi, honey.
Paris flips her cigarette past Jake's head.
Hi, honey. Even for you, that's pretty lame. What's her name?
Oh, Paris.
Paris shoves open the car door, pushing Jake back a couple of steps. He gets out. She gets out.
Let's go meet your friend, Jake.
Paris, get back in the car. There's no one home and there's no girl.
She starts towards the house. Jake catches up to her and grabs her arm.
Look, just get back in your car and follow me. I'll find a coffee shop, we'll have a latte, and I'll tell you the whole deal. There's no woman, but there is something I haven't told you. I promise to tell you everything.
Paris stops walking, turns, and folds her arms across her chest.
Trust me for this one time, honey. If the guy who lives here comes back, I'm in serious trouble. Christ almighty, let's just go. I give you my word, I'll tell you everything.
Another car can be seen heading their way on the road.
Oh, come on, you don't want to see me back in the joint, do you? If you don't get in that car right now and follow me, there's a good chance that will happen.
Paris finally wavers.
This better be good, Jake. It isn't. I'm coming right back here to meet whoever lives in this house.
Great, fine, whatever. Let's go.
They get back in their cars. They pull forward and away from the house. A few moments later, the third car does indeed pull into Brewer's driveway. Later, in a coffee shop in Niles, Jake and Paris are sitting across from each other in a private booth in the back of the shop.
You're really in it, aren't you?
I really am.
If you get caught and they find out I knew about it beforehand, I can be arrested as an accessory, can't I?
Well, yeah, but...
I'm sorry, Jake. It's just that...
Just that you saw yourself in a 6x10 cell? Yeah, I've seen myself in that same cell. It's pretty chilling, isn't it? It's all right, sweetheart. Don't worry. I would never do anything to get you sent up, no matter what.
You're going to do this regardless of what I say, or do...
I've got no choice, baby. Spencer's not fucking around here.
Asshole.
I agree. But, asshole or not, he's got all the cards. I'm screwed, plain and simple. You know, there's maybe something good here, though. I mean, this isn't going to be the hardest job I've ever pulled. In fact, it looks downright simple. There's no alarm system, stickers on the door that say it's protected, but no lead-in wire from the power. He obviously isn't worried about a real pro. If we get away with this, we'll be set for life. Our kids can go to Harvard. I mean, he's talking.
A lot of money. I cut that part, Jake. We don't need Money. I've got a good job, and you're about to open a salon, and it's going to be a success. There's something else. This Spencer guy, what makes you think this is going to be the end of it with him? I mean, let's just say you do pull this off. He's still got the same cards. What keeps him from making you do this again and again?
I don't know. Nothing, I guess. Except, I don't know, honor among thieves? Yeah, I guess that's kind of a stupid thing to say, isn't it? We'll just have to deal with that if and when it becomes an issue. We, right?
I'm thinking. I'm scared, Jake.
Jake takes her hands.
You ain't the only one, baby. What now?
Let's go home.
Home?
I want to feel safe. Make me feel safe, Jake.
Later in Jake and Paris's bedroom, they're making love, and in the distance, a door slams. They both stop and sit up in bed. Jake reaches for a baseball bat he keeps under the bed, but Paris stops him.
Bobby?
The sounds outside of the room include feet coming up the stairs, a door closing, and heavy metal music starting up in a nearby room.
Bobby.
Jake starts to get up.
Where are you going?
What do you mean? Bobby's home. Can't.
Paris grabs Jake's hair and pulls him back down to her.
Jake Bishop, this is my house, and if I want to get fucked in my own house, I'm going to get fucked. I don't care if it's the fucking Pope down the hall.
Jake laughs at that, which causes Paris to laugh, and he goes down on her. After a minute, the music goes off, and Jake looks up.
Don't you dare stop.
He resumes, against his better judgment. Another minute, and she climaxes. A loud knock on the door, and they both jump.
You guys done in there?
We hear him walk back to his room and slam the door. Jake moves next to Paris.
We'll kill him.
No, I will.
Jake starts to get dressed.
I want my home back again, Jake. I want Bobby out of here.
Jake lets that sink in, then resumes getting dressed.
I'll go talk to him.
As Jake walks out of the room and takes a step down the hall, the doorbell rings.
Shit.
Moments later, Jake is coming down the stairs and opens the door to reveal two men in suits.
We don't own the house. I'm not interested in aluminum siding or anything else. And I have a religion. I believe in reincarnation. I'm coming back as Marilyn Monroe's bra.
Police, we have a warrant for Robert Bishop.
Ooh, what?
It's simple, man. You understand warrants, don't you? You're the brother, right? Jacob Bishop, the B&E expert, Pendleton inmate number 49028.
What's the charge?
Paris comes downstairs in a robe.
Who's there?
You the wife?
That's none of your business. You said you have a warrant. You're supposed to show it to me before you come into my house and play Billy Badass. Did you flunk that class at the academy?
You jailhouse lawyers know your shit, don't you, Bishop? Here. The
Where's
detective
Robert
shoves
Bishop?
paperwork in his hand.
Sorry. Where's Robert Bishop?
He's at school.
Already been there, Bishop. We know he's here.
The music starts up in Bobby's room again, and the detective smiles.
You want to go get him, or should we?
Jake nods to Paris, and she goes back upstairs.
What's the warrant for?
He's been identified as the perp in an armed robbery. Spencer's jewelry store, over on South Michigan. The owner ID'd him from mugshots.
A moment later, the music goes off, and Paris follows Bobby downstairs.
Don't worry, Bobby. I'll get you out. Just sit tight and don't talk to anyone.
Jake, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I didn't do this. They've got the wrong guy.
Bobby continues pleading as the detectives handcuff him and put him in the vehicle. As they leave, Jake turns to Paris.
Get dressed and get down to the jail. See what Bobby's bail is. Just get him out of there.
What are you going to do?
Later at Spencer's jewelry store, Jake bursts in. Spencer is helping a lady with a diamond purchase. She jumps at Jake's entrance, but he doesn't.
You're dead, you son of a bitch.
Lady gasps.
Mrs. Culver, it might be better if you were to come back a bit later. This gentleman and I have some business. Come back later this afternoon, and I've got something to show you that I think you'll absolutely adore.
Spencer follows her to the door, locks it behind her, and changes the open-close sign to closed.
Jake. I can see you're all wrought up. It's Bobby, isn't it? I take it the police picked him up.
You know they did, you bastard. You lied and turned him in. What the hell for? You knew I was going to do your goddamn job.
I know you were, Jake. I know you are. I just wanted a little insurance policy.
Insurance? I'm going to give you some insurance, asshole.
Jake grabs Spencer's tie in one hand and balls up his fist with the other.
Hold on. This is the deal. You pull this job Sunday like a good little boy, and I go down to the station and tell them I made a mistake. I just remembered the boy who held me up had a big mole on his left cheek. All these teenagers, they look alike. Your brother looks like the culprit, but fortunately, I remembered the mole.
Jake ponders it for a moment, then relents.
Okay, asshole. I'm going to do your lousy job. The second I'm out of there and you've got your stuff, you hike your fat ass down to the station and get Bobby cut loose. Not Monday, Sunday. If you don't, I swear to God.
I know. You'll cut my nuts off or something like that. Don't you let your elephant mouth overload your hummingbird ass, my friend. Go on. Get the hell out of my place. I've got a business to run here. You just be at the house tomorrow morning, 8 sharp. I just had a chat with my friend Calvin, and he tells me he's going to Chicago early to let his girlfriend do some Christmas shopping on Michigan Ave. Should be leaving about now, in fact. Be sure your pal Walker shows up sober.
Later at the police station, Jake enters and Paris is talking with the day sergeant. She hugs Jake when he approaches.
It's no good, Jake. His bond hearing won't be until Monday.
I'd get your brother a good lawyer, although a lawyer won't be much help until his hearing. F. Lee Bailey probably couldn't get him out until then.
Can I at least see him?
Moments later in the police interview room, Jake and Paris are already seated. The guard escorts Bobby in the door. He's in handcuffs and leg shackles.
You got 5 minutes.
Bobby sits across the table from Jake and Paris. The guard moves to the door.
I don't get this. I didn't rob anyone.
I know you didn't, Bobby. Look, don't worry. We're going to get you out of here. We're trying, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen until Monday. But hey, relax. You get 3 squares a day in here.
Jake, there's a guy in the bullpen who says he's going to make me do things. This is a big guy, Jake. What do? I can't fight this guy. He's twice my size.
It'll be all right, Bobby. Just ask the turnkey to put you in safekeeping. Hell, I'll ask him. Hey, partner, who do I need to see to request safekeeping for my brother? Some queen's putting the moves on him.
I'll ask Captain, but I don't think we have a cell open just now. There's just the one single we use, and there's already a guy in there.
Well, hey, try, will you? My brother's just a kid. You know how it is in there. They really shouldn't have him there in the first place.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my brother in there. I'll see what I can do to get the kid here transferred to isolation.
Jake shakes the guard's hand.
That sounds good. I appreciate it. In the meantime, do me a favor. Will you just ask the turnkey to keep watch?
Sure, you got it.
Jake moves back to the table.
Just keep to yourself. Don't act like you usually do.
I mean, don't be a smartass.
That's exactly what I mean.
She's giving you good advice. When you're in the joint, become invisible. Just stay away from the guy until they get you fixed up with another cell.
The guard comes over to them and taps Bobby on the shoulder.
Time's up, kid. I gotta take you back.
They stand up. Paris gives him a hug and kisses him on the cheek. Jake gives Bobby a hug too and whispers in his ear.
Bobby, if it comes down to it, just go for the eyes. No John Wayne bullshit. Just use your fingers, gouge out his eyes. It's over. Got me?
The eye.
They break up the hug and the guard leads Bobby away. Moments later in the parking lot, Jake and Paris are walking out to their cars.
You're really going to do it, aren't you? Rob that guy.
He's my brother, honey. What choice do I have?
Then I'm coming with you.
Oh, God. No, you're not. Are you crazy? Look, if we get caught, not that we will, you're in prison for sure. If anybody's going to end up in the joint, it's going to be me, not you. Don't you even think about arguing about this, Paris.
She begins to say something, but changes her mind. She kisses Jake, then walks to her car, gets in, and drives off. Later at the boat club, Jake enters, and it's pretty busy. Walker is sitting in a booth in the back.
Walker, there's been a change in plans.
Huh?
We're going in tonight, just as soon as I get you sobered up.
Tonight? Are you crazy? The guy'll be home. Did Sydney...
Spencer ain't got anything to do with this. He got Bobby thrown in jail over some bullshit story to make sure I do this job, and I want this over with now.
Jake, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, you said that before. You're going to be even sorrier when this is over.
Walker reaches for his drink, but Jake pulls it from his reach.
No more, spitball. I want you sober.
But Jake, what if Brewer's there?
Then we won't go in. We'll wait. There's a good chance he won't be. Spencer said the guy goes up early to Chi-Town sometimes.
And why you gotta call me Spitball? You never did that before, Jake.
I'll call you whatever you want if you do your job right. Just don't screw this up. Walker.
This pulls a grin on Walker's face. Flashback to Pendleton. Jake comes up to Walker in his cell, which is on the 3rd level of the prison.
You, get things, right?
Depends. What are you looking for?
I need a shank.
Sure. Who sold you a wolf ticket, bro?
Toles came on to me at lunch. Told me he was going to make me his boy during rec period.
Walker considers him for a moment.
You're from South Bend, right? Seen you around when we were outside.
Yeah, why?
Point him out to me.
They leave Walker's cell and look around. Jake points out a large prisoner about 3 cells down. Moments later, Walker rushes over and dumps Toles over the rail, holding onto his legs. Toles screams and flails and cries.
I had to drop your ass, bitch! You didn't even see me coming this time, did you? You're gonna leave Bishop alone, or next time you will see me coming, but you won't be able to do a fucking thing about it. Understand?
Yes, yes, yes!
Walker pulls him up enough so Toles can grab the rail, then lets go and walks away. Toles finishes pulling himself up. He's pissed himself. He sees Jake watching, their eyes meet, and Toles turns and walks away. Flash forward back to the boat club.
How'd you ever get mixed up with this guy anyway? If you needed a job, you should have come to me. I know a lot of people, man. I could have helped you.
Jake, I'm an outlaw. I don't pretend to be anything else. Don't make me into you.
Walker leans forward, grabs his glass as quickly as, and downs the rest of his drinks before Jake can stop him.
Jake, ain't no way I was gonna ask you for help. I knew you was a straight John.
Right, that's why you got me mixed up in this mess.
I don't mean for you to be. You gotta believe that. I just got carried away talking about you. How'd I know the guy you conked that time was Spencer's uncle?
Jake orders coffee for Walker.
Why are we gonna go tonight? Spencer said Sundays when we go. The guy's probably there, Jake.
We're going in tonight, and that's that. So I'm in charge of this program, not you. Just finish your coffee. We've got some things to pick up.
No, Jake. I'm not going tonight. Tomorrow is when Spencer said to do it. He knows what he's doing, and I'm not going to do it tonight.
Say what, Spitball? I think I misheard you. You want to repeat that?
I'm not going tonight.
Later at Calvin's house, Jake is walking up. It's raining with thunder and lightning. He rings the doorbell and waits for a moment. Nothing. Moments later, Jake pops open the back door with a screwdriver in hand and enters the kitchen. He's now wearing rubber gloves. He stands still for a moment and closes his eyes and listens. Still nothing. Jake moves quietly to the living room and looks in doorways to the other rooms. He hears a noise in the back of the kitchen, spins and crouches into a fighting stance, back to the wall, screwdriver held like a dagger. Walker comes into the living room from the kitchen.
Walker.
Jake. Man, you scared me.
Scared you? What the hell are you doing here? You almost got a Black & Decker shoved up your ass.
Changed my mind. I see you got in okay.
Yeah, but there's nothing here.
Basement. That's where it'll be. That's where his workshop is.
Walker leads Jake downstairs into the basement. The stairs are the kind that have room for storage behind them with open spaces between the steps. There's a work table with a phone and answering machine and a huge safe against the back wall. Jake lets out a groan of disappointment.
What's the matter?
Let's go, Walker.
What? What do you mean, let's go? There's the safe. Open it and let's grab the stuff.
You were right, Walker. This guy must have some serious shit in there.
Of course. That's why we're here. Quit fooling around and open it up.
I can't.
Come on. You're the best. Jake Bishop can open anything.
Yeah, except a super brown fortress.
Walker just stares at Jake.
You can't open it? You really can't open it?
No, I really can't, Walker. This is a top of the line brown, the LT30. God couldn't break into that one.
Okay, you can't crack it. Then we'll carry it.
Yeah? The little puppy weighs over 5,000 pounds. I'm good for about, 200 of that. You got the rest? Spencer didn't happen to give you the combination, did he?
I wish. Hey, I'll run into town, get a welding outfit. We'll torch it open.
Can't do it.
Why not?
Because this model has a silent hold-up alarm clock, a 3-movement time clock, and some other goodies. Even if you manage to cut through 2 inches of the finest steel man can make, you just set off the alarm. It's useless.
Bullshit. You don't know the alarm's even set.
I'm sorry, Walker. You're just going to have to tell Spencer this job couldn't be done.
I can't. Jake, I gotta do this job. I don't do this, Spencer's gonna have me killed. Come on, buddy. Think. There's gotta be a way.
Walker reaches for the handle and gives it a turn, and the safe opens. Both men are stunned that it actually worked. The safe is full of diamonds and multiple manila folders full of paperwork.
Holy shit.
Walker grabs a handful of gems and turns to Jake.
Well, I guess I'm the safe cracker in this gang now.
Jake joins Walker in grabbing gems from the safe and stuffing them in her pockets.
Lazy fucker.
What?
Not you, this Calvin dude. I should have known, man. A lot of guys don't even want to go through the combination every time they open their safe. They just close it. Don't twist the dial. Saves them a few minutes next time they want in.
Say it, Jake.
Say what?
Say, you're the smartest guy I ever met, Walker. Say...
Calvin, you down there?
They only freeze a moment. Walker hurries to behind the stairwell.
Caldur, tell you the phone man.
Down here, ma'am. Phone company. Checking out the wiring problem you called about.
Sally starts down the stairs.
Did Mr. Spencer call? Because
When Sally's legs appear on the stairs, Walker reaches between the steps, grabs her leg, and pulls forward to trip her. She screams and falls down the stairs. When she reaches the bottom, she's out cold. Jake rushes over to turn her over and check her pulse.
She's still alive, but she'll have the mother of a headache. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let me just get the rest of the stuff.
Walker goes back to the safe and grabs more jewels. Jake grabs a bag from the odds and ends on the work table and grabs the envelopes.
Looks like there's something in the back. Grab that.
Walker grabs a canvas bag from the back of the safe and opens it. Inside are stacks of money. The bills showing are hundreds.
Motherfuck!
How much you think's there?
A lot.
No shit.
Walker takes the gems out of his pockets and puts them in the canvas bag with the money, and Jake shoves the bag of envelopes in there as well.
We're planning on splitting this up later, right?
Well, hell yes. We're pards, aren't we? Come on, let's boogie.
They turn back to the stairs and see that Sally is starting to get up. Blood is running down her face from her nose and a gash on her forehead.
Maybe she hasn't seen us. Our faces, I mean.
You want to take that chance?
What should we do then?
Walker just smirks.
No, I'm not in for that.
Oh, really? What are you in for, Jake? Going back to the joint? Because that's where we're going. We don't take care of this bitch.
Sally finally sits up completely and sees the men.
Who? What?
Your worst nightmare, lady.
Walker starts towards Sally, and the phone rings. Everyone freezes. It rings 2 more times, and the machine picks it up. No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. The machine beeps and a small whiny male voice comes on.
Sally, if you're there, pick up. Mary and I had a fight. I bet you're not surprised, are you? Anyway, I'm on my way home. I'm dropping her off at her house. Be there in 45 minutes. Stick around if you get this. It's 6:35 now. I want to go over the betting house account.
Calvin hangs up.
That's your boss? Calvin Brewer?
I just came by to do the books.
Sally, what's your last name?
Want her phone number 2? Ask her out?
Boxlighter. Sally Boxlighter. I'm Calvin's bookkeeper. Are you gonna hurt me?
Walker, let's just go.
Are you crazy? Why don't you just drive down to Pendleton, save the state a lot of time?
Walker, we've got 45 minutes, maybe less, depending on how fast this guy drives. Actually, I've got an idea. Tie her up. We'll take her with us.
Are you totally insane? What, take her home to dinner? I say we erase her. Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and where you figure you're going to go? You know how long it's going to take to get them to figure out who did this? Look at your hands. You're not wearing gloves.
Fuck.
Yeah. Don't even bother trying to wipe down. Take you an hour to do it. I give the boys in blue about 2 hours and they'll have your picture out to every police station in the U.S. You're cooked, buddy. And if you're cooked, so am I. Once they have you, how long before you're going to give me up? Day and a half, maybe? I know you, partner. The stoic type, you're not. Look, here's what we do. We take the lady with us. My wife's parents have a place on Chapman Lake. They're in Florida. I'll get the key and we'll take her there, figure out what to do.
I already know what to do.
No, Walker, that's just stupid. They find her here dead. Every law dog in the country is on the case. She's not here. It's a simple burglary. It'll take them time to figure out she's missing. It buys us time. Time to sell this stuff, get out of the country. You want to kill her at the lake. We'll hide her in the woods. Take them years to find her, maybe never.
Jake heads over to the phone, rips the cord out of the wall, and ties Sally's hands behind her back.
Now, let's get the hell out of here.
Jake marches Sally up the stairs. Walker grabs a sack and Sally's purse and follows them up. Jake stops Sally at the trunk of his car and pops the lid with his keys.
Give me a hand.
Putting her in there?
Yeah, Einstein. I don't want some idiot looking over at me idling up the light and seeing a bloody tied up woman in the back seat.
Jake pulls a roll of duct tape from his trunk. Walker shrugs and starts to help Jake put her in the trunk.
Please.
Shut up, lady. I'm trying to help you here.
Jake takes a cloth from his pocket, shoves it in her mouth, and puts a piece of tape over that. Walker throws her purse in there with her.
Her car.
What?
Her car. We've got to get rid of it.
Jake grabs her purse, rummages, and finds her keys, then drops the purse back in the trunk and closes the lid.
Get rid of it where?
Back the way we came. There's a farmer's access road, goes to the woods in a big field, looked like winter wheat. Maybe an eighth of a mile back, I saw a big equipment shed at the edge of it. We'll put it in there. It'll probably be spring before anybody sees it. You drive our car there, we'll hide it in the shed, and I'll follow you in mine. Then we come back here, pick up yours.
Walker nods and takes the keys. Moments later, Walker is backing Sally's car into a large equipment shed, which is dilapidated and empty.
Walker, give me one of those diamonds.
Say what?
A diamond. I've got an idea.
Jake puts his gloves back on and takes a diamond from Walker. He opens the driver's side door, lifts the corner of the floor mat, and puts a diamond under it.
Are you crazy? What the hell is that all about?
This might just save our asses, Walker. If the cops find this car, eventually they will, they'll find this diamond. What do you think those Sherlocks are going to think when they do?
That she robbed her boss. If they don't find her on her body, they'll just naturally figure she robbed the guy and flew off to Mexico or someplace. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't hide the car so good.
No, this is perfect. This makes it look like she hit it herself to buy time.
You're right.
Jake closes the car door.
Let's go get that key.
Later, in Jake's car, he pulls up to the house and finds Paris's car in the driveway. Walker pulls up behind Jake. As Jake gets out, he motions for Walker to stay in the car. Jake enters, leaving the house door open. Paris is sitting on the sofa watching some crime procedural on television. She doesn't look up.
Hi, honey.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing home? Figured I'd see you tomorrow, most likely. Maybe next week sometime. Maybe get a call from you. You know, to drop by and see when you and I could go visit Bobby in the cell next to his. What a nice surprise that is to see you in civilian clothes and not in an orange jumpsuit.
Paris looks beyond Jake and turns to see what he's looking, and he turns to see what she's looking at. Walker is clearly visible smoking in the car.
Is that one of your clients from the Tangerine? Bring him home to do a kitchen haircut? You're not going to ask that gentleman in?
No, this is Walker. We're going to go case the place. I just wanted to tell you where I was so you wouldn't worry.
Paris stands up and gets right in Jake's face, nose to nose. She then steps back with a bewildered look.
What?
I don't get it.
Get what?
In that story, when the wooden puppet lies, his nose grows. Yours just stays the same. I guess I'm just disappointed.
Jake starts to say something, but Paris holds up her hand to stop him and then moves back to the couch, picks up a magazine and flips through it.
You know, I'm not disappointed at you, Jake. At that story. See, I always thought it was true. Now I know it's just a fairy tale. I guess this is just the end of my innocence, eh? If a person can't believe in Pinocchio, who can they believe in?
Jake shrugs and sighs and goes to the pantry. He grabs the key to the cottage off the wall and shoves it into his pocket. He also grabs a carton of crackers. He moves back to the door and starts to leave.
I called the doctor.
What?
I said when I got home from Niles, I began to cramp, so I called the doctor.
And?
He said the swelling I've been having in my legs and the cramps might mean I have preeclampsia. He wants to see me. I go in at 4:30.
What's that thing you said?
Preeclampsia. Lots of women have it. It's usually not serious, but it can be. So he wants to see me just to be sure.
You gonna be all right? You don't need me to take you in, right? I mean, I would, but...
Jake looks at the door, then Paris buries her face in a magazine.
Just go, Jake. Just do whatever it is you think you need to do.
Well, then, okay. I just be in the way, right? So, look, I've got to do this one thing. I'll be home right after.
Jake walks out the door. When he closes it, Paris throws the magazine at it. Jake walks up to Walker's car. Walker is leaning out of the window.
What's up?
A divorce, most likely. Never mind. Let's get going. Just follow me.
Later, Jake and Walker pull up to the cottage. Jake gets out of the car and goes up to the cottage to look in. Jake turns back to the cars and sees that Walker has opened the trunk and is trying to wrestle Sally out of the trunk. She isn't moving and her eyes are closed.
How'd you get it open?
She left the keys in the ignition. You do that a lot? Surprised somebody ain't stole your ride.
Jake looks up and down the road.
I already checked. No one's around. Come on, let's get this bitch inside.
Jake grabs Sally by the shoulders while Walker takes her by the feet. With great effort, they lift her out of the car and drop her to the ground. Sally moans.
She's alive.
No shit.
Jake and Walker open the front door and enter carrying Sally. They drop her on the living room sofa, face down. Walker closes the front door while Jake goes to a cabinet and finds a length of clothesline. He uses it to tie her feet and hands.
Maybe you should tie her to the couch.
Nah, when we go to sleep, I will. She ain't going anywhere.
Let's kill her now. Be the kind thing to do. She's out cold. Won't feel a thing.
Jesus, Walker. The killing thing again. Look, once you ice her, there's no turning back. It's murder, buddy. That's a place I don't want to go.
You dumb shit, Jake. Kidnap her, you get the same sentence as murder.
You're right, but... God, I'm just not ready to do it yet. Just give me some time.
Okay, but we're gonna have to do it eventually, pal.
Let's count the money. Let's see how much diamonds. See how many diamonds we got.
Now that's a great idea.
Walker grabs and dumps the canvas bag onto the kitchen table. Out tumble stacks of bills and loose diamonds, including the yellow one.
Yeah, it must be 100 diamonds here. And here's the canary.
You count those and I'll count the cash.
A few minutes have passed and the diamonds are in small piles and the cash is in 2 large bundles. Walker puts the last stack of cash in a bundle.
200 grand. God damn, we hit the lottery. You ever seen so much money before?
Walker grabs a few diamonds out of a pile.
And these gotta be worth $500,000, maybe more.
Yeah, to a jeweler. What are they worth to a fence? That is, if we knew a fence. Half that? A third? Not that we could do that. Cross Spencer, and you said it yourself, we're dead.
Maybe not. I know a guy in Chicago. He uses... Hell, I've made 10 trips to the guy's place already. Look, we're a day ahead of schedule. Spencer's not even expecting us to do this until tomorrow. We could drive up to Chi-Town, tell the guy these are some rocks Spencer wanted to sell him, and bring the money back.
You're forgetting my brother, Walker.
Shit, Jake, your brother's gonna be fine. It's just his word against Spencer's. What's the most he could get if he did get sent up? I mean, first offense and all. A year? 1 to 10, that's it. Out in 10 months.
First of all, armed robberies, 10 and a quarter. Some get 1 to 10, but that ain't Bishop luck. Besides, if it doesn't matter if we did this a day early, you don't think Spencer watches TV? This is going to be all over the late news. Probably already is. Walker, we ain't selling these diamonds, and I don't want to hear any more about it. We're getting them to Spencer as quick as we can. We'll keep the money. Spencer doesn't know anything about that. All he wanted was a yellow diamond, and he'll probably give you something for all the other ones. Hell, you can keep that. Keep all of it. The money, whatever he gives you for the rest. I don't want it. You can have all of this cash too. All I want is my brother out of jail and my life back. Here's what you're going to do, Walker. You're going to get your ass back to the South Bend, give Spencer his diamonds. You're not going to kill the woman. Then you're going to get lost. Go to South America, wherever. Fuck a bunch of Spanish bras. Drink Mai Tais.
Silence as they stare at each other for a moment.
You know what? I'm hungry. Could eat a horse. You got anything in this house?
Walker starts to open cabinets in the kitchen.
I've got some crackers out in the car.
Crackers? You gotta be kidding. We got near $250,000 in bills, and you want me to eat some stale-ass crackers? Buddy, I'm up for a T-bone steak. One about 3 inches thick, cooked in butter and slathered with onions.
You know, I believe I could tackle one of those myself. Why don't you run into town and get us a couple? I'll stay here and guard our house guest.
Jake, I don't have no idea where the hell I am. You've been here before. You know where the store is and all. I'd get lost before I get a mile from here. No, you gotta go. Get some shovels. We still gotta bury this bitch.
I'll go, but leave her be while I'm gone. I'm still thinking on a way to avoid a murder.
You keep thinking, Jake, but I'm telling you right now, there ain't no way around it. You know it's the truth.
Maybe, but just hold off. We'll do it later.
Jake pulls a $100 bill from a stack and heads for the door.
Cigarettes.
Say what?
Cigarettes. Give me some butts. I'm low.
Jake nods and leaves. Later, Jake wrestles open the front door and enters with groceries under each arm.
Walker, can you come get one of these bags?
Jake sees Walker dragging a dead Sally through the kitchen, her throat slit. Jake drops the groceries.
Oh, shit. You done it, didn't you? Just couldn't wait.
I could use some help here. God damn it, Jake. You knew this had to be done. You knew you couldn't do it. Somebody had to. Once again, I saved your useless ass.
You're right, Walker. Only this time, it was you who put me in this trick bag to begin with. You think of that while you're imagining you're some hero on my behalf?
All right, maybe I did. But we're in this thing, Jake. And this is what had to be done. Admit it. What were you going to do? You knew it had to you know what would have happened if we let her go?
Hell. Okay, Walker. Leave her be a minute. Let's figure out what we're going to do.
Do? That's easy. We're going to take her out to your car, load her up, and find the woods where you were talking about. Bury her ass and get the hell out of Dodge.
At midnight? Walker, we don't even have a flashlight. How are you going to see to dig a hole? You maybe didn't notice, but there's not even a moon out tonight. The woods are dark, brother. And what are we supposed to dig with? I couldn't find a shovel. You think maybe we should use our fingers?
You didn't get shovels? Jesus, Jake, why not?
Because it's 9 o'clock at night, dumbass. Hardware stores are closed.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just dump her someplace. We can at least carry her back in some forest around here. Be days, maybe weeks before they find her. Meantime, we're long gone.
Look, we can't go off half-cocked here. First thing, we can't just dump her. We've got to bury her. Deep. Someplace nobody goes. I know the place. Look, here's what we do. We get some sleep. We're both tired right now. Too tired to make good decisions. In the morning, we'll go into town, get some shovels and a pickaxe to get through the hard stuff on top. Come back here and load her up and take her there. You hungry? I got the steaks.
No, not really.
Yeah, me neither. Let's just get some shut-eye. Bed's upstairs. I'm going to go take a shower.
Later, Jake climbs out of the shower, toweling off, staring at the mirror. Suddenly, there are raised voices in the other room shouting at each other. Jake rushes in and finds Paris backed up against the kitchen counter, with Walker keeping her pinned there, holding a large kitchen knife. She has been crying.
Walker! What the hell are you doing? That's my wife!
When Walker looks over at Jake, Paris shoves past Walker. Jake opens his arms to pull her into a hug, but she stops just short of him and slaps him hard.
What the hell did you do that for?
Must be your moron friend, Walker Joy. Hi, Mr. Joy. I'm the wife. What kind of bullshit have you gotten my husband into?
What the hell is she doing here?
How did you...
No, you were here? You're not that slick, Jake. Took me about 10 minutes to figure out where you were going.
How's that?
You left with a box of crackers. You hate crackers, Jake. You didn't even look in the fridge. If you were after food, that's where you would have looked. So, wondered what it was that you were looking for in the pantry that you really wanted. Wasn't that hard to figure it out. Only other thing in there was our spare keys. Just had to go through them to see what was missing.
Oh.
But that's not what's important right now. Jake, I don't know where to start. You broke into that man's place already, didn't you?
Yes.
Makes sense. Something went wrong, didn't it? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, I guess.
Yeah, well, we had a little problem. Nothing we can't work out.
I imagine...
Paris, are we...
Jake, I wish there was an easy way to say this, but there isn't. Bobby's dead.
What?
Bobby's dead. Jake, I'm so sorry. He hung himself.
I can't... Are you sure? What?
He was attacked. He left a note for you.
Paris reaches into her bra and pulls out a folded photocopy of a note.
They kept the original for the trial. I said you could have it after it was over.
She hands it to Jake. He leans over the counter as he reads it.
Dear Jake, if you get this, I guess it means I've done what I set out to do. You were not to blame for my death. That's my choice. Nothing you could have done would have stopped me. You've been nothing but a good brother, Jake. But something happened last night. A guy forced himself on me about 2 a.m. this morning. Guy held a razor blade. He melted it into a toothbrush to my throat and raped me. I wanted to fight him, Jake, but I couldn't. He was a little guy, too. I could have whipped him in a fair fight. I just kept feeling that razor blade, and I knew if I did anything, I was dead. I kept wishing I had said fuck it and tried, but I didn't. I can't live with that. I hope I go to hell so I don't have to face Mom and Dad. Robert. P.S. Tell Paris I really appreciate her taking me in like she did. I'm sorry I was mean to her sometimes.
Jake crushes the note.
You can be proud of him, though. That guy that attacked him is in the hospital.
Huh?
According to the cops, after he finished writing this, he walked down to that guy's cell and attacked him. Took his eye clean out. They moved Bobby back to his own cell while they took that guy to the hospital, and that's when Bobby hung himself.
He's really dead, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Jake, I am so...
It's okay. I just need a minute to get used to this. Paris, are you with me?
Yes.
You're sure?
When I came down here, I wasn't sure. I just knew I had to tell you about Bobby. Just now, when I was telling you about him, it was like you died. That's when I made up my mind. I knew then I didn't want to live if you weren't with me. But you have to be straight with me, Jake. I mean, completely straight. As much as I love you, you lie to me even once and I'm gone.
Much later, Jake has explained everything to Paris.
So, there it is. Sorry. Paris, you okay?
You got two choices the way I see it. One, you can turn yourselves in. No? I kind of figured that was how you'd feel, Mr. Joy. How about you, Jake? That an option you don't like? Okay, that's what I figured. I'm just throwing it out. All right, then. What we've got to do is figure out how to get out of this mess. The way I see it, since your intrepid partner here, Mr. Joy, left his fingerprints back at this man's house, the thing to do is just wait. If they found his prints, it won't be long before they put it all together and figure out Jake was in this too, considering your backgrounds. I'll go home, and if the cops pay me a visit, then we'll know they're on to you. If they don't, then you're probably in the clear.
You're right. Let's say they find prints and come looking for Jake. You're going to warn us, right?
Of course. You guys just stay here in the cottage. We'll go into town, in a while and find a payphone someplace, get the number. Every day at, say, 5, I'll give you a call and let you know if anything's going on.
How long do you think we'll need to do that?
2 days?
2 days sounds right. If nothing happens in that time, you're probably both okay.
Damn. This is some old lady you got, Jake. Brains and looks.
I'm not done. Don't go celebrating just yet. The boys have a problem. I want that woman's body out of here.
I've got that figured out. We're going to bury her in the woods by the county highway department.
Yeah, that'll be the best place. If she disappears, chances are the police will think she pulled the job and got out of the country somewhere. And when they find her car, they'll figure she had an accomplice.
Just what I was thinking when I planted the diamond in her car.
Mr. Joy, you'll go into town tomorrow to get shovels.
I don't know where to go.
Jake will draw you a map. He and I have to make plans.
Bobby.
His funeral.
Exactly.
Okay, here's what we'll do. I'll go home tomorrow, make the arrangements. You'll come back for the funeral. Anyone asks in the meantime, I'll tell them you're on a trip looking for salon furnishings. I'll say you're over in Pennsylvania looking at antiques. I've left messages, but you must have changed hotels. You know it's in 2 days, don't you?
What's in 2 days?
Christmas.
The next day, Walker takes a hand-drawn map and list of supplies from Jake, puts on a coat and leaves. When we hear the car start up, Jake turns to Paris.
You know he's going to call his contact in Chicago, don't you? He's a criminal. His brain has been working overtime trying to figure out how to keep the diamonds and the money for himself. My bet is he's got the number of the fences Chicago. It's not the number of the fence in Chicago his boss uses, and he's going to make a beeline for the phone and set up an appointment with him.
What, you think your bosom buddy is capable of double-crossing you?
Cute. Anyway, I don't care about that. Forget the money. He can have it all. I just want our lives to go back to normal. Problem is, Walker will get caught. He always does. He gets all that cash. In a week, he'll have spent it all, and that'll be his downfall. Ours, too. It won't take 10 minutes. He'll spill it all.
It's simple. We'll have to kill him.
Paris?
Get it together, Jake.
Paris moves into the kitchen and starts looking in the cabinets.
Now, where the hell would Mom hide the coffee?
She finds coffee and starts to make some.
Paris?
Paris turns to face Jake, fighting back tears.
Don't Paris me. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of alien or some kind of monster. I just said what you were planning to say. I'm right, aren't I?
Well, yes.
Paris finishes the coffee and pours 2 mugs. She hands one to Jake, and they're silent for a moment.
You remember the boat you used to have?
Yeah. The Tequila Sunrise.
I wanted the blue one, and you wanted the red sailboat. You won.
We had a lot of fun on that boat.
We did. Wonder how many boats we can buy with all that money.
One apiece, probably. You can get your blue one, and I'll get another Tequila Sunrise.
Do you suppose that'll make us happy? You're wondering about me, aren't you, Jake? You're wondering about this person you thought you knew. It's a preeclampsia thing. It made me truly realize there's another human being inside of me. Yeah, I knew it in my head, but not in my heart, not until then. Now I know he's a real person, and I'm responsible for him.
You mean we're responsible for him?
Yeah. So, what are we gonna do?
You mean the baby?
No, I know what to do about the baby. I was talking about the immediate problems. That body out there, your friend Walker Joy. How are we going to take care of him?
Walker?
You have to admit that would solve a lot of this. Hell, it would solve most of this. I've known him for less than a day and I see nothing but a loser. How are you going to do it?
Jake starts writing out a number on a piece of paper.
Okay, go home, call the funeral home, and get things done for Bobby. When you finish that, I want you to call a guy named Jimmy Barnes. Just call him up and tell him you're my wife and that I want a 45. Only don't say that. Say you want one of his products. He'll know what you mean. He'll probably call you back from a different number to be safe. A 45 with a clip. You with me so far?
Do you think you can actually do it, Jake? Kill him?
I have to. It's him or us.
Okay, then.
Get going. You've got a lot to do and not much time. Try to be back here by 7.
They kiss, and Paris grabs her coat and leaves. Jake turns on the TV to the news. Later, Jake is still watching TV when Walker returns, sporting a grin.
I got everything, buddy. Where's your wife's car? She go someplace?
Had a few drinks too, didn't you? How drunk are you?
Not near enough. Lighten up hard. I don't need a dad. So where'd she go?
She went home to take care of Bobby's funeral. She'll be back to help us bury the body.
So what are you going to do about her?
The body?
No, your wife. What's it? Patty? No, Paris. Funny name.
Well, what do you mean? What am I going to do about her?
Christ, you've been on the bricks too long, Jake. Maybe you've gone too straight.
What, do you think she'll talk? Turn us in?
Something like that. Get your head right, Jake. She's kind of cute and all that, but man, we're talking about your freedom here. Ain't no pussy ever lived worth doing time for. Don't tell me you think she'll keep her mouth shut. Hell, for all we know, she's talking to the cops right this minute. Maybe not, but how long do you think she's going to go along with this?
How would I explain her disappearance?
Don't. You and me, we'll be sitting on a beach in Rio, knee-deep in broads then. You'll barely remember this one.
Then why kill her at all? Why not just leave her? If I don't tell her where we're going, she can't tell the cops where we've gone.
Maybe. But it takes some time to do all this. Sell the stones, get the fake passports, all that crap.
Tell me, Sundance, you know how to go about getting a fake passport? Which reminds me, you keep talking about Rio. How do you know which countries don't have extradition?
Look, there's ways. Guys you can call. I know a guy can get him for us and tell us where to go.
Walker, I bet you $1 the farthest you get is Las Vegas or a beach in Florida.
Jake moves to the window to look outside. It started to sleet.
Getting colder. Did you get a pickaxe? That ground's gonna be like a brick.
Yeah, I'm not a complete moron, you know.
Well, I did give you a list, didn't I? Okay, look, I'm sorry. I was only joking. You know, you're right. There's no pussy in the world worth going to the joint for. How do you think we should do it?
That's my boy. We'll do it tonight. Then we bury the broad. Roll them both in together. Hell, I'll take care of it, Jakey. I wouldn't expect you to. I know you love the broad. I understand that shit. You walk off to take a piss, and I'll do it then. She won't feel a thing. I'll make it painless. Hey, I need a drink. I'll head back to town and get a bottle of the good stuff to celebrate. How about it? Feel like getting shit-faced?
Sure, go fetch it. Walker, it's my job to do. It's my wife, my responsibility.
As Walker leaves, we hear the car start up and leave. Jake heads to the bathroom. A few moments later, as Jake is finishing his business in the bathroom, he hears a car pull up and the front door open and close. He flushes and leaves the room.
You forget to take some of the money?
Jake enters the room and is shocked to see Gloria standing there in her orange beret. She's staring at the body, panicking.
Gloria? What are you doing here? Where's Gerald?
He's still in Canada fishing. Where's Paris? Where's my daughter? What's going on here? Who's this?
It's just somebody who had an accident.
This is no accident. This woman's throat has been cut.
Gloria.
My God. Our Father who art in heaven.
I'm sorry.
Be thy name.
Gloria starts to scream. Jake quickly grabs Gloria around her throat. She makes an attempt to fight him, scratching his face, knocking off her own beret in the process. Jake lets her go as Gloria crumples to the floor dead. Jake folds his arm across his chest, wanting to cry but unable to do so. Jake starts to hyperventilate, and he goes to the kitchen, finds a trash bag, and breathes in it to calm himself. He moves back into the living room and stares at Gloria's body. He quickly runs upstairs and grabs a quilt from the bed, comes back and wraps Gloria up in it, hoists her up on his shoulders and carries her out to the car and puts her in the trunk. He then sees Gloria's car.
Oh, shit. Neighbor won't be back until summer. It's not far.
He then gets in her car and drives it up the road to the opposite way they normally came in, to the neighbor's house with a garage. He finds a key to the garage in a fake plastic rock in a flower bed nearby, opens it, and backs Gloria's car inside. He closes it up, replaces the key, then walks back to the cottage. As Jake nears the house, Walker and Paris are driving up to the house in separate cars. Jake panics for a moment and then runs as fast as he can.
Did you guys see that cat?
Cat?
What happened to your face, Jake?
The cat! Huge! You sure you didn't see him?
A cat did this?
Found him in the closet. Opened the door and he jumped out. Scared the shit out of me. I tried to grab him, but he shredded my face and got out. I tried to chase him down. His paw was as big as my hand.
Shit, you sure it wasn't a bear?
It was a cat, I swear. I'd go find him, but...
No, that's not important now. We've got a body to bury. Let's get this over with.
Don't you want to wait until midnight or something?
I don't think so, Mr. Joy. Might look a little suspicious to any cop that wanders by. During the day, they'll just figure we're coon hunters and leave us alone.
It's good thinking, honey. Besides, I want to get this over with, too.
Yeah, whatever. Good a time as any. I'm going to take a whiz, get the car ready, and come help me with the body.
Walker heads into the house, and Jake turns to Paris.
You get it?
Paris opens her clip and hands Jake a 45 and 2 extra clips. He chambers around and tucks it into his waistband, then pockets the clips.
Bobby?
Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Paris,
What?
you're going to stay here while Walker and I go bury the body.
Like hell?
Yes, you are. Something happens, we get caught, you go straight to jail. You and the baby. I don't want my child born in the joint. Do you? Have her grow up in foster homes and institutions? Besides, I don't want you to see what I need to do.
Oh.
The problem is convincing Walker to leave you here. He thinks I'm going to kill you in the woods.
He does.
He wanted to kill you right away. He thinks you'll snitch. It's the only way I could keep him from it.
I see. Tell me, Jake, did you consider it? Killing me? For just a second, maybe? Would solve a lot of your problems, wouldn't it? You and Walker could sell the diamonds, split up the money, and be on your merry way to some island in the Caribbean. No millstone of a wife around your neck. Think of all the babes you could have.
Paris, talk like that makes me think I should do what Walker thinks I'm going to do.
Paris's eyes go wide until Jake grins and lets her know he was kidding.
Look, just let me talk to Walker in private. I'll tell him I'm going to kill you when we get back.
Think he'll buy that?
Only one way to find out.
As Paris and Jake enter the cottage, Walker comes out of the bathroom and Paris moves past him.
I'm gonna take a bath.
A bath? Aren't you going with us?
Seems this is a guy thing. Jake will explain.
Paris goes in the bathroom and closes the door.
I told her to stay here. I told her I didn't want to take the chance we'd be stopped or something and she'd be nailed with us. Go to prison for accessory to murder.
Are you nuts, Jake? I thought we'd agreed you'd kill her. How you gonna take her out now?
No problem. I'll do it when she gets back. When we get back. Later tonight while she's sleeping. I just don't think I could do it with her looking at me.
Christ. Fucking pussy. I'll do it.
Walker turns to the bathroom, but Jake stops him.
Wait. There's something else you should know.
Moments later at the back of Jake's car, Jake opens his trunk to show Gloria's body to Walker. Sally's body is on the ground nearby.
I don't know if I can keep Paris from seeing this when we take her out to bury. She sees her mother dead? What do you think will happen? She's going to start screaming. You want that? Screaming like a banshee. I kill her, sure, but by then half the neighborhood is up, looking out their windows, and calling the cops.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Why don't we just tell her to stay on lookout?
Well, for one, I just talked her into staying here. And for another, I just told you I can't off her with her looking at me. Jesus, Walker, this is the woman I married. I love her, asshole. This is going to be hard enough, but I know the only way I can do it is when she's asleep.
Whatever. Let's do it then.
They wrestle Sally's body into the trunk on top of Gloria.
You killed her mother? Fuck me.
Yeah, exactly.
Later in the forest, Jake and Walker are carrying shovels and a pickaxe.
Well, you were right, Jakey. Ain't no one gonna stumble around out here this winter. Maybe ever.
Here's as good place as any. Let's get going. Once it's deep enough, we'll go back for the bodies.
They get started digging.
You know why I helped you out that time in the joint, Jake?
'Cause you're a good guy?
Maybe. You don't think much of me, do you? Don't answer that. I know you don't. I think maybe you did before I dragged you out into this thing, but it's pretty obvious you don't now. That's okay, homeboy. I understand. I understand a lot more than you know. I want to tell you why I saved your ass. Loyalty.
What?
Loyalty, partner. That's why I saved your ass in J-Block.
That never made sense to me. You barely knew me then. I appreciate it, but
We were boys from South Bend. Homeboys.
That's stupid.
Jake stops digging and gets a cigarette out, lights it up.
Stupid, huh? You didn't think it was stupid then, did you? Bought you the time you needed to toughen up for later.
Flash back to Pendleton. Jake is reading in his bunk when Toles comes up to his cell door.
Good night.
No. Tomorrow, noon chow. Laundry room.
Up at the laundry roof, Toles is waiting with shank in hand. Jake walks up with a straightened out laundry pen for a weapon. They attack. Jake is faster and stabs Toles in the throat, and Toles drops. Jake is over him, stabbing until the strength leaves his arms, then switches hands and stabs a few more times. Flashback to the present in a hole in the ground. Jake is still digging. Walker is finishing his cigarette. The hole is much deeper now, and snow is falling harder.
That's about deep enough, isn't it? 2 bodies?
No. Lots of dogs run in these woods. We need to bury them deep so they can't smell them.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Walker flicks his cigarette away and hops into the hole and grabs his shovel.
Take a break, Jake.
Jake climbs onto the edge of the hole and lights his own cigarette. Walker starts digging.
You know what?
What?
I don't like people in them 12-step programs. I like them before they go.
Is that a poke at me?
I got to admit, you were more fun when you were drinking.
Walker, I was in the joint. How do you know what I was like when I was drinking?
Stops digging and leans on the shovel.
You was the dry drunk. You might not have had any booze, but you had the mindset of a drinker. Now you've changed. Big time, partner. I think it's because you quit drinking.
That doesn't make any sense. If you recall, I've been drinking lately.
Yeah, but your heart ain't in it.
Oh, Walker, you're an idiot. Your brain is about 6 over par, and you're only on the second hole.
That gets a laugh from Walker as he turns back to the hole and continues to dig.
Why'd you marry that gal, Jake? She's not your type at all. She's gonna be the death of you, you know? She's bad news, brother. I seen that right away.
What the hell do you know about what my type is?
Oh, she's a looker, all right. Kind of gal guy'd give up a kidney to get in her pants. But you know what? I think you hooked up with her because you're feeling guilty and all about being in the joint. Started to think you wasn't a criminal, belonged to nice society or something. I think you're like a hillbilly that finds a tampon in the first girl he dates. You don't know there's a string attached to the thing.
You're full of shit, Joy. Paris ain't the first girl I dated. Fuck you and your nickel psychology.
Walker stops digging, still faced away from Jake.
You're missing the point, Jake. Point is, your old lady is the first of your kind you've been up against.
What kind is that?
Walker turns to face Jake. He has a .25 caliber handgun in his hand and trains it on Jake.
Kind of makes you do dumb things. Like that gun you got in your coat pocket there. Think I didn't know about that? Remember what we used to say back in the joint? Don't shuck a con. Hop on down here with me.
Jake does. They are face to face.
When were you going to do it, Jakey?
About now. Guess I should have sped up the program. So, you gonna kill your partner?
Spencer's my partner. He always been my partner, Jake. He's loyal. You're not. You figured every time Spencer sat down, I got a nosebleed, but that's not the way it is. He's been like a father to me. More than my own father ever was. Something you need to know. I didn't make a mistake telling Spencer about you. I did it on purpose. Why? Because I like you is why, asshole. I wanted you on this job. Me, not Spencer. You were my best friend, Jake. It would have worked out fine, too, except for that gal of yours. Bye, Jakey.
Walker races the gun to Jake's head. Jake closes his eyes. Walker pulls the trigger. Click. Misfire. Jake's eyes fly open to see Walker trying to fire again. Jake is immediately on Walker, trying to draw his own gun. They struggle, and both guns go off, and they both fall back. Jake is stunned for a moment, then starts feeling around his chest for where he was hit. He winces when he feels his chest under his shoulder, then stands up and peels off 2 layers of coat to find the wound. It's bloody, but not bad. He looks down at Walker, who's staring up at him.
Walker?
Guess you win, Jakey. Damn cheap ass gun. Should have known a low caliber piece wouldn't stop you.
Jake can't help but smile.
At least I'm gonna go out a free man.
Yeah, that's good, right?
You bet your ass it's good. Your secret, killing Toles. I never told Spencer. I never told anybody about that.
I know. You told me already. I believed you.
I never do that, Jake. You're my partner.
Walker dies.
I appreciate it.
Jake sits down on the edge of the hole and lights up a cigarette. Later, Jake pulls up to the cottage and gets out of the car. Paris rushes out to meet him.
Is it done? You were gone forever.
Yes, it's done.
My God, you're hurt.
It ain't bad. At least I don't think.
Paris ushers Jake inside into a chair at the dining room table. She peels off his jacket and shirt and examines the wound.
You're right, it's not that bad. The bullet's still in there, though. I can just see a bit of it.
Yeah, it'll have to come out. I think that's how you get lead poisoning.
Jake laughs at his own joke while Paris gets a steak knife from the kitchen.
Where's your lighter?
Coat pocket.
Paris rifles through the coat and finds it. She holds the tip of the knife over the flame for a bit and then moves to Jake.
This is probably gonna hurt.
When Paris slides the knife point into the wound, Jake jumps a little in his seat.
Motherfucker!
Sorry.
Ignore me. Just do it.
She goes back to digging, and Jake roars in pain,
Oh!
shaking his head back and forth. She digs out the bullet, and he gasps for air.
I'll never believe the movies again. Guy bites on a rag and drinks a shot, and they just dig it out without a problem, and he's making jokes a minute later. That about killed my ass.
Paris grabs a bottle of vinegar from the cabinet and a dish towel.
Are you gonna make a salad?
No, silly. I'm gonna sterilize your wound. Maybe the movies are right. You're making jokes just fine.
Jake reaches across the table to the bottle of whiskey Walker left behind.
No, use this. My body's used to it.
She frowns, sets aside the vinegar, and takes the whiskey from him.
I think your body's a bit too used to whiskey, if you want my opinion.
Paris cleans the wound and applies a towel to the wound, then puts Jake's hand over it.
I gotta go into town to get bandages and get some food for us. Keep pressure on that for another 15 minutes, then get cleaned up.
Later, Jake comes out of the bathroom, having taken a shower and wearing only a towel, a wad of toilet paper in the wound. He sees Gloria's beret on the floor beside the couch. Jake rushes over and grabs the beret. He looks out the window and sees Paris approaching the house, so he shoves the beret into the pocket of his nearby jacket. Then Paris enters.
Honey, you back already? You didn't make it into town, did you?
And no, I was almost there when I thought about something. 2 things, really.
What's that?
Well, I realized I only had a 5 on me, and I need gas too. I could have used a credit card, but then I thought, why on earth are we staying here tonight? There's nothing more to do here, is there? We can stop and eat on the way, sleep in our own bed tonight. Unless you're too tired.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm whipped, but you're right. The longer we're here, the more chance of attracting notice.
That's what I thought too. Besides, I forgot to tell you, Mom and Dad are coming up.
They are? How did you...
Dad called right before I left to come down. He's still in Florida, but he said Mom was driving up. Oh, don't worry. She won't be here until the day after tomorrow. Dad said she's gone to visit a friend in Indianapolis on the way.
Oh.
But it's probably best if we left early. You know, Mom, she doesn't always follow her schedule.
Yeah, I know. I gotta figure out what to do with Walker's car.
That's easy. I'll follow you to the rest area off exit 30 and we'll just leave it there.
So when the police find it, they'll think he met the box ladder woman there to run off with the diamonds. Fucking brilliant. Come on, you start cleaning this place while I get dressed.
Jake's bedroom the next morning. Jake is asleep. It starts waking up. He starts coughing and then sits upright immediately.
The beret. That goddamn cap is still in my coat pocket.
Jake grabs his robe and rushes downstairs. He enters the living room and grabs the coat off the couch and pulls the orange beret out of the pocket.
Jake?
Jake quickly stuffs the beret under a pillow on the couch, and Paris enters the room with a spatula in hand.
What are you doing in here?
I was just putting on my coat.
Jake hangs the coat on a coat tree in the corner.
Oh, breakfast is about ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I don't think I can eat. I'm starting a cold.
Great. Wish I'd known that an hour ago. Those are the last of the eggs, and I hate omelets.
Jake follows her back to the kitchen where she dumps the eggs in the trash.
Oh, come on, honey. You're not mad about the eggs, are you?
You're right. I'm mad because I'm scared.
What's done is done. I can't undo what's happened, sweetheart. Neither can you. Everything's going to turn out all right. You'll see. We're past most of the bad stuff now. A couple of odds and ends to clean up, and we're home free. I mean, never being an Ozzie and Harriet remake, sure, but we might have a shot at a Bonnie and Clyde remake. There's my girl. Now I'm hungry.
Jake grabs eggs out of the trash, wipes some coffee grounds off, and takes a bite.
Good.
You're nuts.
I know, but I'm your nut.
Jake moves in and kisses her passionately. Paris's phone rings and she breaks away to answer it.
Oh, hey, Daddy. Are you on your way? Oh, no, I hadn't heard from her yet. Well, if she calls, I'll have her call you, okay? Okay. Love you. Safe trip.
She hangs up.
They on their way?
Yeah. He hasn't heard from Mom, but she's probably at the cabin by now by his figuring. Good thing we got out of there when we did.
Oh, I've got to get dressed and get going. Got to pay someone a visit.
Spencer's jewelry store a little later. Jake walks into Spencer's jewelry store and Spencer's behind the counter.
I've been waiting for you. What took you so long? And where's Walker Joy?
Jake turns around and locks the front door, then changes the open-close sign to closed.
Walker Joy won't be joining us, Spencer. He's indisposed.
Look, Jake, I heard about your brother. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Who would have known? I mean, you can't blame me.
Jake turns back and levels a gun at Spencer.
Don't you dare talk about my brother. I don't want his name on your filthy lips!
Jake, please, don't be rash. I've got a letter.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. Back room, now.
Letter's not there. You don't think I'd be that stupid, do you? It's in a place where if something happens to me, a friend takes it to the police. Lays out everything. Better let me go if you know what's good for you.
Spencer enters the back room, Jake keeping his gun on him. He forces Spencer into a chair, then starts rummaging through his desk and paperwork.
You know what, Spencer? I don't think there even is a letter.
Jake then turns on Spencer's computer screen. On the computer desktop, there is a file named "In the Event of My Death.doc."
Jesus, Sydney, could you be any more original than that?
Jake deletes the file, then finds a file named Current Inventory and deletes it too, then empties the computer's recycle bin.
Think I'll reformat your hard drive too, just for good measure. A lot of garbage in here. Should make your computer run much faster.
Jake deletes the C drive as the computer pops up. "Are you sure?" And Jake clicks yes.
Got a hard copy in a safe place with a friend.
You know what, Spencer? I'm just going to take the chance that you're too lazy to do that. Besides, you know what really makes that story unbelievable? That you even have a friend to begin with.
Jake walks over to the safe on the wall. He turns the handle and it swings open.
Jesus! Do any of you rich assholes even know how a safe is supposed to work?
Are you robbing me?
It's what I do, remember? Wasn't that the reason you hired me, Sydney?
You'll never get away with it. You think I won't go to the cops? You think they'll believe you over me? If I were you, I'd let me go and pray. I'm a nice guy. You're not a killer, Jake. We both know that. You think I won't go to the cops? I'm an established businessman, and you're an ex-con. If I were you, I'd let me go and pray that I'm a nice guy.
Jake finishes looting the safe and slams it shut.
You know, At one time, you were right. I wasn't a killer. Things have changed. You're not curious why Walker's not here? Ask me again where he is.
But Walker's your friend. He saved your life in prison. You owed him. He told me.
What I really wanted to do wasn't kill you, Spencer. What I really wanted to do was set you up, get you sent to the joint. A guy like you, know what would happen? Fat, white ass like yours is prime meat, Spencer. They'd be lining up. This guy, we'll call him Daddy. This guy will have a ball-peen hammer with him. You know what that's for? Little dental work. Smash out your front teeth for a better blowjob. A few of his buddies will be outside the cell arguing over who gets to be next. Later on, the hack will finally discover you. Get your sorry ass hauled to the hospital. A week later, you'll be back in population. You'll even have a new cellmate, the guy you'll call Daddy, your new best friend. That's what I wanted to do, Spencer. That would have been perfect. Poetic justice, they call it. Even out what you did to Bobby. But to make all that happen, it means I'd have to get sent up too. And I decided I don't want that. I've got a wife to take care of. Oh, and you're right. Walker saved my life. But then he took it back when he got mixed up in this shit with you.
What are you going to do?
Jake picks up the phone receiver and starts dialing.
I know you've called Brewer recently, so that establishes that connection. What I don't know is whether you called your partner in the diamond theft recently.
After a couple of rings, Walker's voicemail picks up.
Hey, you got Walker. You know what to do.
And Jake hangs up.
Now you have.
Jake reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a bag. He dumps the contents all over Spencer's desk, the diamonds from Calvin's house. He reaches into another pocket and pulls out the yellow diamond.
Recognize this? What all this fuss was about. Here's your fucking diamond.
Throws it on top of the pile of diamonds.
I don't understand.
Doesn't matter. The cops will. Come on. Time to boogie.
Spencer rises, and Jake searches him to find his car keys. He forces Spencer out the back door. They enter the back parking lot where Spencer's Mercedes is parked. Jake uses the key fob to turn off the alarm and pop the trunk.
Get in.
You're going to kill me, aren't you?
In!
Spencer climbs into the trunk.
Tell me something, Spencer. Was it you who called Big Daddy? Told him I was an ex-con?
The look on Spencer's face tells Jake what he wants to know. Jake points the gun at Spencer's face.
It's going to be cold.
No, it isn't.
Jake shoots Spencer in the face. Jake looks around to make sure no one approaches, then slams the trunk lid, climbs in the car, and drives off. Later, Jake bursts into his house with a bag full of money. Paris is reclining on the couch.
I'm back, honey. It's all over. You're going to see something on TV in the next day or so about a robbery. They'll suspect Walker Joy. I may get called in for questioning, being a known associate. You know, just a matter of routine. But I think we're in the clear. We'll have to leave the country eventually, but no way around it. But this should make it much easier for us.
Jake dumps the cash on the table. No reaction from Paris.
Look, it's our baby's nest egg.
Jake rushes to get in front of her.
We're rich, baby. Rich!
Paris is sweating profusely. She holds up the orange beret, and Jake's face goes pale.
Would you like to tell me how my mother's hat got here?
She left it here on our last visit?
It was in the couch, Jake. But you knew that already, didn't you?
I don't get what you're saying. Who says that's your mother's hat? There's a million hats like that. It could belong to somebody else. We bought this couch at a yard sale, right? It could have been the previous owner's hat.
I clean this couch once a month.
Maybe it was just buried deep. Just worked its way up?
Paris lets out a cry of pain that she's been holding back.
Something's wrong. The baby hurts. It hurts. Jake.
Paris falls back on the couch, her eyes roll back into her head. She begins convulsing. Jake runs to her side.
Oh my God! Paris! Paris!
She stops convulsing and opens her eyes. She looks calm now.
Paris, are you all right? Sweetheart, what was...
He's coming. Jake. Only it isn't right. Something's wrong. Oh, God, it hurts. Oh, God.
Paris screams and Jake looks down at the couch and sees a blood pool growing rapidly underneath her.
I'm calling an ambulance.
No. There's no time. No time, Jake. The baby's coming. You have to deliver it. Now.
No, I'm calling.
Jake grabs his phone and dials 911. He grabs Paris's hand as he talks.
My wife's having a baby and there's blood everywhere. Jake Bishop, 3132 Twickenham. Please hurry.
He drops the phone and focuses on Paris again. He presses his hand over her vagina to try something, anything to stop the bleeding.
They're only a minute away, sweetheart. Just hold on.
Jake. Oh, God, it hurts.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm just so sorry. This isn't how it was supposed to go.
There's a pounding at the door. EMTs, is this where the emergency is? The door's locked. Jake jumps up and the table's covered with money. He hesitates. Paris looks up at him and looks over at the table and back at Jake. Their eyes meet. Silently, he unlocks and opens the front door, and the EMTs rush in. One immediately moves to Paris and goes to work, and the other one goes to ask Jake questions.
Preeclampsia.
What? The EMT sees the money on the table and freezes. Adam, you got this?
We're going to need some help on this one.
Just what I was thinking. Excuse me for a minute, sir. The EMT steps outside and calls for assistance, keeping his eyes on Jake. But Jake does nothing. Much later, in Pendleton, Jake is eating, and Jerome walks up to him.
Bishop,
And you are?
Jerome, Toles. You met my brother in your last stretch.
Jake smiles and stands to face him.
Didn't take you long to find me. Where you want to do this?
Jim. Tonight.
Later that evening in the gym, Jerome is waiting for Jake when he arrives. Jerome is holding a shank.
How much time you doing?
1 to 10.
House creeper, huh? I hope you like it here.
What do you mean?
Nothing. That'll make sense in a few days. I don't suppose you got some salt, do you? Or a glass of water? Sorry, private joke. Fuck it. Let's go.
Where's your shank?
In your hand. Bring it to me.
Jerome attacks. Fade to black. The end.
Yay!
Excellent work, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about my dog when I pounded on the door.
I had mine barking a couple times in the background too. I don't know if it's
I hate to like duck out super early, but I actually do have to work tonight, so I am gonna go ahead and peace out. It was a joy.
Thanks,
I'm glad you were able to help us out, Thorne. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
You did great. Thanks for helping me too.
Do we have any questions from the online people?
Yes,
I'm trying to get back on, guys.
Oh, so yeah. All right, we hear
Yeah,
you.
you can get on now, Les.
I'm here, but
There you are.
somehow I've
There he
reduced
is.
this all to a small thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's joining us that doesn't know, we are joined by the author of the story here, The Bitch, and that is Les Edgerton. So, Les, I hope you enjoyed our adaptation of your work.
I loved it, but I've lost the picture and everything, and I don't know how to get it back.
That's okay. We recorded the whole thing, and I'm gonna do some editing.
No, I
and
wanted to
post it to
compliment
video.
you guys. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really,
Thank you so much.
really a fantastic job. Every single one of you.
Thank you.
When they do the movie, I want Ray to direct it, and I want you guys to be the actors.
Fantastic. I'm in.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
I will be very busy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
nice. Way to big time them.
How do I get this up back up? Ray?
Is there maybe a bar at the bottom where there's a blue button with a
I've
camera?
got a
on it?
minimalized thing with your picture in it now. It switches to whoever's talking, but it's a tiny little picture.
There should be in the right corner, kind of a square with a green arrow in it.
Yeah.
Click on that, and that should full screen you.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
There
now,
we go.
Now that you got it back
Hey,
up,
you guys were fantastic. You really were.
Thank you.
now that you got it back up, if it stays up for 4 hours, call a doctor then.
I just called another
Very
hooker.
important.
Even better.
You don't
even
want to
better.
waste good pills. She did an exceptionally fine job.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I think I was.
She didn't know her name. Paris. Julie.
Oh, Paris. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear Paris. No, thank you.
And my guy, all of you guys did a great job. Every single one of you. Ray, you reduced this. I didn't know how you were going to do it. You did a fantastic job, buddy.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
I'm almost finished
just
with your memoirs. This is definitely going to be the next one I want to read. Now that we've done it, I want to hear the other side of the story and see what Ray had to work with.
Yeah, well, you may not want to invite me down for the rap party then.
Yeah, we were all talking. What was it that you had said, Greg, about heading out to Taco Bell or something?
Oh, yeah, the
well,
Waffle
you
House
know.
or something.
Right. Although it's 2020, so we'd all have to DoorDash a glass of water and a quarter of a plate of fries each.
Speaking
Daniel?
of, Victoria, do you have some type of cash app where you can send money to Greg on the bet of whether or not my Amazon package would arrive before I had to be back into the scene?
That was good.
Me too. I will.
There's a whole subtext conversation happening in the chat. Like I saw it, I was like, I had to look at it for a second. I was like, oh, what if they got kicked or something? Because I couldn't see the Zoom. I think that's actually where I missed a line because I was looking at the check thing, and I was like, shit.
I kept hearing my phone buzz. I'm like, if I look away from here, I'm going to miss the
Yeah,
line.
that's
So,
right.
I
I
just-
You're
totally
narrator.
missed it.
Have you guys all worked together before a lot?
I've worked
with some of us, yeah.
I've worked with every one of them at least once in some capacity.
Yeah.
Most of them on stage. Greg, I worked with. Actually, Greg, when I first started turning this into a script, Greg was one of the folks that helped me with the first read through. That was probably like 4 versions ago.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like 5 years ago, maybe or something.
Oh, wow.
So he's one of the old timers.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah, I'd worked with everyone except for Victoria and Greg. I hadn't worked with either of you, but everyone else I knew
Yeah.
from years past.
This is my first time working
So-
with Greg and JP. I knew of them, but this is my first time actually working with them. Especially JP is notorious.
That's a
I'll
good
tell
word
you
for
what,
it.
Yeah.
when Sidney sends out his mugshot, he's not going to get anything but bad guy roles.
No, I have given up. I mean, I never held on to ever getting male romantic lead ever in my life. I did
I
did
keep
my-
thinking of my
One
favorite
day,
actor,
JP,
Christopher Walken.
I
You're
would
like
love
his little
that.
brother.
I would love that.
Nice.
But,
Yeah, JP does Slimy very, very well.
I got my first male romantic lead
Yeah.
like right before the pandemic. I was like, oh wow! And then I read the script. It was for a play, and it was for a washed-up, weird, middle-aged artist. That was the love interest of this thing.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
yeah, there you go.
Got it.
Hey, you're still a
Yeah.
love interest.
Most recently, JP played my very inappropriate and sexually harassing boss in a
Those are fun, guys.
A horror,
wonderful.
a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Now
seen all
available
your
on
work
Prime if
now,
memory
and
serves.
I've got a new book just came out, and they're talking about a TV series with it, a 3-year series, and we're getting really close. It looks like so. I'll keep you guys in mind, and I'm going to send this tape into them.
Awesome.
And go ahead and pimp it. What is that new book, Les?
It's called
Yeah.
Hard Times.
Hard times.
It's
I've
getting
been
a lot
watching
of
all the
buzz.
reviews pour in. It's getting a lot of great reviews, and I'm when we post this on YouTube for people to be able to share to everybody, we'll put a link in there directly to Hard Times, as well as a link to where they can purchase both the bitch as well as your memoirs, a memoir, Adrenaline Rush,
Well,
or
thanks,
Adrenaline
Ray.
Junkie. My bad.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sheila just commented in
host,
the
Ray.
live chat that she listened to the whole thing. She says, "Wow, that was complicated. I thought it was a good job all around. A lot of twists and turns, that's for sure, man." That was what Sheila Guru.
Brittany's mom.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I
She
know.
said she was going to
I
be
know
listening
her.
tonight.
Yeah, I loved her.
I meant to tell you, Greg, I really loved your what's the boss?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
that was so
Yeah.
good.
I loved your
You
Right.
nailed that.
Right.
And that's
Go
kind
in
of the
the
way I
salon.
visualize you.
like that drawl. I
Go
was
ahead.
That was so good.
It felt like a character from Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I felt
Yes.
like a Coen Brother
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
character.
Oh, Big
and I was
Daddy.
like
Big
giggling.
Daddy.
Don't want other
Thank
people's
you so
haircut.
much.
Oh man,
I love it.
That was so good.
Jake, we heard you were a felon.
Yeah.
No, in
Preacher comes
Victoria,
in
no, I
here,
loved how you
Jake.
had all the wigs.
Oh, was there wigs happening? See, I couldn't
little
even. I was
wigs.
having to
No,
follow the
she- every
script, so I
character
didn't
she
watch
had a
it.
wig.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I loved it.
Cosplay. Cosplay is the reason for all of that.
I love it.
I just want to know what we're going to do when they start showing theater from the waist down again. 'Cause I'm
Right.
Thank you. We don't need pants. Stop
Be like
that.
No
fingernails.
I'm actually
pants,
wearing
man.
pants. So
Team.
thank you.
That would be
Yeah.
a very Spencer thing to do, too.
Just gotta get some Spanx. I've played enough superheroes, all the Spanx.
Oh,
That's what you gotta do.
I cannot exit this pandemic without about 3 months of cardio at least, because I'm just
Yeah.
down to like 2
Yeah.
pairs of jeans and sweatpants.
Literally all I wear are leggings.
Mhm.
no buttons and zippers.
Me too.
No,
Tops.
jeans, forget it.
Yep, nope.
Well, while we
Thank you
got
so
Les
much for the story,
here,
Les.
Yeah, well,
Huh?
Yes.
So thank you for the story.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys did a superb job. Every single one of you. I'm really in awe of your talents.
Oh wow, thank you.
Aw.
Really
Uh-huh.
am. You guys are the real
Yours
deal.
too. It was a great script.
does
Yeah, it really
anybody have
was.
any questions about,
Yeah. Say-
maybe about their characters or just anything that they wanted to run by Les? And
I'm
while we're
curious.
here.
So, having read most of the memoir, I want to know who Paris is based on.
Who perishes? Oh, probably. I'm trying to remember. That was a name, almost named Brittany when she
Oh,
was
is that right?
born. And in
Aw.
Siena, yeah, it's going to be Paris Kelsey, and I was going to spell Kelsey Cellsey, but pronounced Kelsey. And Paris Kelsey, I thought that's kind of a great name. I'm kind of good at naming kids. In fact, Brittany Ray's wife, I named her, and she's the oldest. You will never find a Brittany older than her because she was the first in the country, and I'm very serious.
Really?
Now it's a very
First one with that
popular
spelling.
name, but
That is super
Really?
you will never
cool.
know anybody older than that.
So Britney
Because I
Spears
made
is
that
named
name
after
up.
my wife.
Yeah.
There you go.
And in
She's
Siena,
right behind you, Ray. She is literally right behind you.
Yeah,
sister.
rolling her eyes. I can hear her rolling her eyes.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah.
I see the head shaking. I see the head.
Yeah.
and then her sister, I just named her after the Crayola, Sienna.
Oh.
Burnt Sea.
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
glad,
Burnt Sea. That
if
was
glad
my
there wasn't
favorite
another
thing.
kid. It'd be Burnt Umber.
Yeah.
Burnt something.
Yeah, I don't know if this is
You
really a
know-
question, but I do have. I just wanted to, like, when I first read the screenplay, I was like, when I heard the very beginning, I was like, oh, it was going to be another one of these, like, you know, the guy gets pulled back into the life, and then like, but then it just takes off. I loved all the twists and turns. There was so many unexpected twists, and the character of Paris is awesome. She's such a badass. I love it. So awesome.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back.
Yeah,
Everybody misunderstood the title. And I've had a lot. I should have named it probably The Habitual Criminal. I've been censored for it and all kinds of crap.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then don't even ask about my other book, The Rapist.
Oh, no shit.
But yet
I thought it was
Star
called
Wars.
Therapist.
Yeah, Therapist. I'll take a rapist for 100, Alec. But then Star Wars just released a new show called The Bad Batch. And like, we're not supposed to know what that is. It's like, that is bad, biatch. You know it. I was like, they got away with one at Disney right there. The Bad Batch. I'm a bad batch.
Have you guys acted in any movies or anything, stage productions?
Mhm.
Oh, a lot of them.
Stage.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
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 A lot
Yeah, I've
of folks
done
with just
both.
various backgrounds here, both in theater and in movies.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
In fact, Daniel's over there being Moody, the Moody actor.
That's Daniel's
Happens.
bedtime at this point. Man. It's time for Daniel to get a snack and lay back. It's that time.
Time for a snicker.
Hey, I've had
I liked what Daniel was.
There it is. I was wondering where the food was. I was wondering. I was like, it is 8:45, 9 o'clock, and they're like, where's his food, man? This
Oh,
is
that's hilarious.
Daniel's chow time.
in between scenes.
Speaking of Daniel, I got a question for Les. Walker Joy, first of all, where did you come up with that particular name? And number two, is that actually based on a real person as well?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's based on actually a number of people. He's pretty typical. You know, I was friends with what's his name? The guy in California just died.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Huh?
Not Jeffrey Epstein, no.
No,
Please say no.
Brandon something.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Was
The
it
big guy. Well, he's a little guy actually. Oh God, this is terrible.
Tiny Lister?
No,
No.
he was in Corcoran. He just died a few weeks ago, or a few months ago. He's like 86.
Oh.
They killed Sharon Tate and all that crap.
Oh, Charles Manson.
Yeah, Charles. Yeah.
Oh, no
He
shit.
used to call me.
That's crazy.
That's true story. I was supposed to be in a book. A professor at University of Toledo is writing a book about famous people who did drugs in their youth, and I was one of the chapters. Big Brother and the Holding Company was in. Charlie was in it, and a bunch of other people. Anyway, Russell, the professor, was out of Corcoran visiting him, doing interviews with him, and he had a copy of one of my books with him, Monday's Meal. And Charlie looked at it, and he started reading, and he said, "Hey, you mind if I borrow this? Meaning, you mind if I have this?" And Russell said, "Yeah, go ahead." So he did, and he called Russell back up in Toledo, and he said, "Man, this guy's a real deal." And I thought, "Well, fuck yeah, I did time too, Charlie." And so anyway, he said, "You think he'd mind if I called him?" And so Russell asked me, and I said, "No." Well, when I was in the joint, you couldn't call out. It's way different now. And I didn't realize I had to pay for it. So he called and they call collect. And so I was on the phone with him for several weeks, and I just got tired of his bullshit. He's a little bitty guy, and he's not bad at all. They had him in safekeeping, and it was to safekeep his ass, because if he was ever put out in general population, he'd last about 30 seconds. And his cellmate was a guy named I can't remember his name now. God damn. Anyway, he wanted to talk to me too, so he'd read my book too, and he liked it and all that stuff. So God, I have Alzheimer's, so I keep forgetting people's names. Anyway, his cellmate started calling me, and he's bills himself as the world's most stabbed inmate, which he was. He's been stabbed over 300 times, and he's killed about 300. Well, he was a hitman for every gang in a joint, and they had to put him in safekeeping because there's sits on him from everybody in the joint. So him and Charlie were natural cellmates. So God, I wish I could think of it. I'll think of it as soon as we hang up. But anyway, no, he kept saying, "Would you write my biography?" He says, "I found Jesus and I'm saved, and I want to save little kids from my life of crime." And I kept saying, no, I don't have time. I got too many projects and all this stuff. So finally he says, Les, what's the real, I know that's not the real reason. What's the real reason? And I said, you want the real reason? He said, yeah. And I said, well, you're kind of like a serial killer. You stab people, right? And he says, yeah. And I said, well, I think serial killers are boring ass people. They keep doing the same damn thing over and over. And that's the truth. I don't read books about them or anything. I think they're boring ass people. No imagination. And he got pissed and lost all his religion. Started calling me motherfucker this, motherfucker that. And he says, if I ever get out, you're the first guy I'm going to look up. And I said, dude, I said, you're behind 30-foot concrete walls, 14 feet. And I said, California would have to have the biggest earthquake ever in their history for you to ever get out. And if you did, I ain't going to worry about it because you're a knife guy. You're going to bring a knife. I've got guns, dude. And then that's the last I ever talked to either one of them.
Allegedly.
Charlie is not a bad dude at all. In fact, he didn't even do half most of his killings. He had little girls go do it for him.
Yeah.
He's a little punk. That's all he is.
Well, was.
Les, if I
I'm
become,
fascinated by that shit.
Blowing my mind right now.
Les,
I
if
know,
I become
right?
a serial killer, I'm going to kill each person a different way, and I'm going to like arrange their bodies like
Well, I'm writing a book.
letters of the
right now.
alphabet.
Good. I'll write yours in.
All right, no. Different
Just make
small
it
animals and mementos in their pockets. I'll make it really weird for you. Les.
Good. Make it interesting. These serial killers, how are they interesting?
No, I know.
They keep doing the same damn thing over and over.
Christopher, how long did you art direct your background for tonight's read? It looks really nice. We got 2 guitars and that.
Oh,
Okay,
that's just where I store my guitars and my Ravenclaw. So my room where I'm at,
Art directed.
it's a converted attic space, so it has like weird angled walls, and there's this cubby hole that's there. It serves no purpose. It's just random, and so I was like, man, that's like the perfect size. I can fit both my guitars in there and my
some
Ravenclaw.
art directed bullshit.
Oh,
this perfectly. This
I
perfect.
did remember.
Listen to
I did at least close the closet because earlier that was open, and I was like, so that I was at least paying attention to the background.
Question for Les.
Gotta shut my door.
Yes, sir.
So one thing I hadn't considered was the one thing that was originally made was about the hairdressing job.
Yeah.
So how are your hairdressing skills?
They were excellent. I was the top artist in the country. I was a platform artist for Clairol, which their top 5 people travel all over the country and do shows. I used to do the Midwest Beauty Show and all those. There's like 35,000 people come to see us and everything. And I worked, I was the artistic director at Snobs in New Orleans. I worked a lot of places. Had several very successful salons. Brittany grew up in one, and or 2, I can't remember. But yeah, I loved it. And the thing is, remember the movie Warren Beatty was in Hairstyle?
Shampoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that movie came out, I was working in New Orleans in Snobs, and we did all women. Okay, we were pretty pricey then. We were $50 a haircut, and that was in the 70s. So today it'd be a $200 or $300 haircut. I mean, I was top of the game. Anyway, when Shampoo came out, we walk in on a Monday morning. There's all these guys out in the waiting room. We never did guys. And I talked to Anthony Jones, the English guy and owner of salon. I said, "What the hell happened?" He said, "That movie Shampoo came out." He said, "People didn't realize we were nailer and Hawaii." I said, "We were right and left." And all hairdressers are not gay. Trust me. I wasn't. And there's something about, ask the ladies here, something about you get a lady back in your chair and your hands are in her hair and the warm water and everything. There's a transaction that happens spiritually.
But
There really is.
I will only go to a gay hairdresser for this reason. A woman will cut your hair what she would like to see on a man, but not necessarily wear. A straight guy, well, that's a barbarism. We know where that comes from. A gay guy will not only put on your head what he would like to see, but what he could wear himself. And that's my gay male hairdresser theory.
So you want to look like a gay guy to pick up girls.
I want to look like I want to look like the guy the
work.
gay guy wants to have sex with. Yeah.
Both sides. Pick up either side.
You're so
Exactly.
wrong. You're so
I haven't.
wrong.
Listen,
It's from the Bible, man. Jesus said, "Throw your net on the other side."
Okay, on the other side. Where's that in the Bible?
JP's in a relationship with his beer anyway. We all know
Oh my
this.
God! I so love me.
I don't have a question specifically, but to kind of go off what Joe just said, could you? Because I know this story, but I don't think anyone else does. Could you tell the story of how you opened the salon, about like all of the trickery that you did, about like how not booking you for your first week and telling people you were booked and all that whole thing? That was just, that was amazing.
I've got another. I wrote 2 books of this 3 books of the salon industry, and one of the books is about that, how to open smart. And when I opened, I had a full book. I was booked 3 months ahead before I ever cut a head of hair. But I did a whole bunch of things. I was in Warsaw. That's where Brittany was. She was a little girl, and we didn't have Sienna yet. And I didn't know a single person in town. I just researched all the towns in Indiana, and that was the wealthiest town in Indiana. So I thought, well, you go where the money is. And it still is. It's a very wealthy town that something like 85% of all the orthopedic industry in the world is done there and all that. Very wealthy town. There's 100% employment, and it's a resort area. There's 100 lakes in the county and all this stuff. Anyway, when I opened up, I ran a full page ad in the local paper, and I had to argue with the guy about how to do it. And all I did was I said, I want the full page, and I want your smallest type you're capable of. So a guy with 20/20 vision would have to hold it up to here and wear bifocals to read it. And they wanted me to run this stupid ass ad and give specials and all this crap. Well, if you're any good, you don't give specials. Only losers give specials. But people don't know that. They keep doing the same thing over and over and wonder why they never get ahead. But if you're half smart, you figure this shit out. So all it said was, your lucky number is, and I put my phone number. I didn't put who I was, nothing. That was it. And my phone rang off the hook for 3 weeks straight. People called and they'd be, what's this lucky number shit? And I had a spiel prepared, about a 20-second spiel. And I said, well, I'm new in town. I'm a hair cutter. And I said, if you come and let me cut your hair, you're going to find out it was your lucky day. And it's small town, word gets around quick. So that was one thing I did. But I did a whole bunch of other things. I announced my date as whenever 3 weeks before I actually opened. I went to another salon and got a bunch of hair from their floor, and I threw it all around chairs. And so if anybody'd walk in, I could say I was busy, and I wouldn't take anybody. I said, I'm sorry, I'm booked up. And the word gets around quick. Brilliant. By the time I opened, I was booked up. People said, nobody even knows this guy, and he's already booked. He must be good. I made my prices double the highest price salon in town. I can't even think of half the crap I did, but I mean, so people are creative cutting hair, but they're not creative in business. And they wonder why they never get ahead, or they got to struggle for years. It's because they're stupid. I'm sorry, it's true.
It's so good. Oh my God, I was just like, when I was reading that chapter, and I was just like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
It's not brilliant. It's just common sense. Just look around and observe shit.
You learned this in prison?
No, I'm just smart. I've been smart all my life.
Yeah.
I observe shit.
The hairdressing thing, according to that's one of the other things that struck me about the memoirs, is how you're talking about how so many in Indiana, so many of the major hairdressers were all ex-cons.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I could walk at one time. I could walk into 5 salons or shops in any town in Indiana, and 3 of them would have an ex-con in it that I knew. We were very prized. People standing in line to hire us, because the average guy on the street goes to barber or beauty school. It doesn't matter. It's about 9 months. They get about 2 or 3 people a week to cut their hair. When I was in Pendleton, everybody had to get their hair cut every 2 weeks, and that's 2,500 inmates. We were doing 10, 12 people a day, 5 days a week for as long, and we were in there a lot longer than 9 months. So when we got out, we were the top of we were the best hairdressers in the country. We just were.
So
people
cool.
lined up to hire us. And I every salon I walked into, I had a full book within a week, because I knew how to do it. Another thing, every time somebody would leave the salon, I do their hair, I give them 3 cards and say, if you like your hair, send me your best friend. And I go out at night and it'll be all over the ground, dozens of them. It's okay, I'd pick them up and recycle them. But
awesome.
I would do shit like get somebody out of the chair, and I'd have them bend their head over. I'd sit on the floor and cut their hair up. Do anything to look different. People are gullible. They just are.
They are.
Yeah.
They are though.
Especially with
That's real.
here,
It's
it's
so
a
real.
mystery.
But nobody here. Nobody here. Nobody right here. We're all
I'm very
smart.
gullible.
I see you guys are
I'm-
bald. So
I will absolutely admit it.
Yeah, I'm divorced, so I'm.
Yeah, like I'm very gullible.
I was on the board of the Alley Theater. That's about it.
Dude, I was a president at one point.
Yeah. And then I went to the Bardstown where things were going to be different.
I love the
if you like that,
Bardstown.
you'll like the.
This Bardstown.
I know.
Bardstown, this is you.
If
I'm
you
just
like
glad
that
I got
stuff,
to do a couple of
Chris,
shows at the Alley before it closed.
What? It's a cattail.
That was a cattail, yeah.
and Shampoo was the movie. Shampoo was so tame. That guy was a piker. He was doing 1 or 2 a day. We were doing 4, 5, and 6 girls a day, women a day, every day.
So take that, Warren Beatty.
Lightweight. You were so vain. You probably think the second person about you.
Yeah, Warren. Actually, that was based on a guy I knew. Warren was based on. I can't think of his name anymore. I used to do shows with him out in California. He was known as a player, but he played a lot more than Warren Beatty did in that movie.
Where was your salon in New Orleans? I lived in New Orleans in the late 90s. You weren't there. But what area?
I'm trying to think. Chapaloosa's.
Okay.
And then I managed the one out in Metairie.
Okay.
Out in Cat City.
Ooh,
I can't think of the name of the street. It's where all the mafia guys are.
Oh yeah, no. Metairie is some of the worst stand-up crowds I ever did, but they paid well. But it was like,
you did comedy?
That was mostly what I was doing in New Orleans, doing like basically from Biloxi to the boats in New Orleans, and just doing that.
My
Vidal and Metairie were hell.
My publisher is a comic, Danny Granger.
Yeah.
You know Danny?
I know the name. Yeah, I know the name.
Yeah, he made $500,000, so he sunk it into his publishing company.
Yep.
Now he's publishing. I was his first guy he signed for my new book.
Yeah, I think he did that casino circuit. I mean, that's where some
my manager out there was the vice president of HBO. He started the comedy release specials years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those?
Yep.
Paul Kaplan Bennett.
Very cool.
Comedy. What was your stick?
Being just a deranged
Obnoxious.
asshole. No shtick, basically no shtick.
Typecast.
So,
JP's method.
Straight method acting.
I played an asshole 20 years ago, and I haven't been able to get out since.
It pays well, right?
Exactly. Went too deep.
So like whenever Ray first messaged me about reading for this, he just like was like, hey, would you want to be a part of this, like, months ago or whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, and it's called The Bitch. And I like was reading, I glanced at it and was like, is he making fun of me? Like, I didn't it took me a second. like, is this a joke? Like, and then like I realized like Topher was involved, other people, and I was like, oh, okay, it's legit.
That
I was like, damn it.
I'm glad I could give you pause, though.
That's
Everybody gives me the benefit of the doubt that I'm a nice guy. So when somebody thinks that maybe I'm not, I feel score.
That Julie is such a nice girl thing is now we know it's like the bitch. Julie's so nice. I love working with her.
Well, while we're kind of winding down here, I'm going to have one more time. Les, tell us a little bit about Hard Times.
Do I have a copy? Yeah, I've got a copy here somewhere.
There we go.
I mean, it's a new book.
I got your advanced copy, but it doesn't have this cover on it. Plus, I spilled chocolate ice cream on it, so it's not very appealing looking right now. So there you go.
I'm getting a glare. I don't know.
There we go.
There you go. That's better.
Is that a tornado?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, we're in Indiana. It's tornado.
The Twister.
No, it's set in East Texas. Anybody ever heard of
tornado
the
there.
Big Thicket?
Twister in Texas, yeah.
Well, I grew up but on the Gulf Coast, which is a little farther south than where I set this book. But it's set in the Big Thicket. There was a heavyweight boxer named Roy Harris that years ago fought Floyd Patterson for the World Championship. He's from the Big Thicket, from the only town there. The town's named Cut and Shoot, because that's all there is to do on a Saturday night is cut and shoot each other. And I'm very serious. It's kind of it's a very raw book. This the protagonist in it, her husband's kind of a drunk, He's a flaming drunk, and it beats her and tries to have carnal knowledge backwards with her and stuff, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, he leaves her one day and he's got all these dogs that are his pride and joy, and they can't get out because there's a drought and the dogs have them imprisoned in their cabin. The baby dies, gets mauled by the dogs, and they can't get out of the cabin and they're starving. They've eaten all the bugs they can get and everything. So to save her kids, she cuts off her hand to feed them. And then it starts getting grim.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So this one will be appearing on Hallmark next Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Hallmark.
Same storyline.
I write very dark stuff.
What do you mean by having sex backwards?
Well, where you're looking at the back of her head.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
She doesn't like that.
Reverse cowgirl. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I don't know all the modern terms.
Yeah, we've renamed everything to be more, gender inclusive.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't ask about Dirty Sanchez, whatever you do.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God. Oh no.
Well, now that we've gotten to the sex talk, it's about time to sign off. So, Les, thank you again for giving us the opportunity to share your novel with the world here.
A fantastic script.
Thank you for green lighting it and giving us a go ahead. And we look forward to maybe trying this with a couple of the other novels in the future. I've had my eye on Bomb for quite a while. That I think that'll be a great adaptation as well.
I have bad memories of that. I was offered $50,000 for that by St. Martin's.
Oh wow!
And $45,000 by Random House, and I made a mistake. I went with Random House because they were Random House. Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks after I signed with them, they were sold to Bertelsmann, and I lost everything. Oh. And it finally got made as an independent thing, but it would have been a movie and everything. It was destined to be number one on the bestseller list and everything.
Wow!
Well,
yeah.
All the more reason for us to bring it to justice.
Yeah, that's the one I'd like seen made into a movie.
Yep, it'd be a great one. So, ladies and gentlemen, while I've got you all here, thank you so much for working with me on this. It's been a great month and a half that we've been kind of putting a little bit of effort into this, and it paid off really well. It was I was on the edge of my seat, and I knew everything that was going to happen. So I enjoyed myself greatly, and I'm glad that you all got to be a part of that. And so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
You guys are wonderful. I hope I can get down and meet everybody at some point.
Yeah.
And
absolutely. Love it.
Oh no!
Everybody's got their berets.
Really? And beret? That's what a beret looks like.
I didn't make mine. I just had a cloth.
Like a toasted cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
How does anyone have a beret except?
We'll see you soon.
We were the only ones that handled it.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody that's watching from
see
home.
you in church.
And,
or wherever you give your offering. I do mine at a place called the Gin Mill. So churches, wherever you give your offering.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us on this journey for the last 2.5 hours. If you made it this far, thumbs up. You're a champ. Wow. So, but thank you guys, everybody, for participating and enjoying the show.
You need to get a higher chair, Ray.
I do. I'm usually not on camera. I'm usually back here doing my podcast. Just kick back and relax.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful actors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your story. Sorry you had to go through all that.
No big deal,
Indeed.
man.
He's a Notre Dame fan. He's been through worse.
We're going to win national championship. You're thinking of Louisville.
On that note. Guys, thank you so much.
Night, y'all.